Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. Holy mackerel, what a weekend it was this weekend. Can you believe it? Celadon filed bankruptcy and closed. And there were a ton of people mad at me saying, oh, they're not closed. Chapter 11, they're going to stay open. All right, where are you now? I'll give you a ride to Indianapolis. Look, some do's and don'ts if you're stranded. Recruiting vultures are out in force. The St. Christopher Fund, I'm still trying to get to $500. We'll talk about that today. It's mainly a Celadon day in this special edition of Trucking Answers. So let's do it. Let me change this to this. For new people, I'm not that great at this, so here we go. All right, so here we are, doing clickings. Any Celadon drivers in the chat, please identify yourself or whatever. We can help you out and see what we can do for you here. Thank you for Fleet Nav Systems. Was first on Wednesday, Fleet Nav System, right? First on Wednesday. How about that? But today, Trucker Hershey I have down first for today. So a lot of people here today. Misty, thank you for being here. Wow, Bill, it's good to see you. Michael Cole. Clay is here. Hello there. James Faust, what is going on? Michael Muller, it is good to see you here. I am way behind already here. Aaron is here. Thank you for coming in. Where'd I go here? I'm already off. K. Wayne was a little bit late almost today, but not quite. So we'll let that pass as we usually do. Auto Transport Intel. Jay, what's going on? It's good to see you here today. How about that? Jay does a live show. Let me get this up here for Jay. You can go see Jay at 8 p.m. Central tomorrow, right on his channel there at Auto Transport Intel. How about that? And check him out for some business coaching. So there you go. Thanks for being here, Jay. It's good to see you. So let me switch that around. Jay is way better at this kind of stuff than me. So if you want a quality show, you can go see that. And don't forget, of course, it is Roller Wiener Monday here. So get your wieners ready, and we're going to get to going with that, of course, on Roller Wiener Monday. Ryan, what is happening? Hard Boss 25. It's cold in Gaffney, South Carolina. Man, I'm going to try not to get too far behind today. It should be a busy show. Want to get to Celadon closing. We all knew it. I mean, I have some other people that are on the death watch list too. We'll get to those people. There's other companies on the list, as we know. Caleb, hello, what is happening? Columbia, George. Greetings, fellow big strappers and chicken haulers. All right, Slick Willie is here. Right. It's not Obama. This doesn't have anything to do with Obama, Trump, Nixon, or any other president. This is all of Celadon's own doing. We knew this was coming. The Healthy Highwayman, hello there. We call it Chicken Marty saying more. What's going on? It's good to see you. Might be up your way. All right, so that's two to that, and I'm already back here. Where am I? Trucking Journey. Celadon telling us we could get him a ride home if we called in. That's good. You know, a lot of companies were offering rides home and stuff. A lot of vultures were out there. Recruiters were out trying to scam the Celadon drivers. Holy mackerel. The cards were off for a while, then they were on, then they were off. Now apparently they're off, and that's it. Celadon drivers are being told to drive their trucks back to terminals or whatever. Some of them are giving bus tickets. I've heard that from some drivers. I'm in a group that is offering rides to drivers to get them back home, and some drivers are saying that they're having them drop trucks off, somewhere, and they're giving them a bus home, but no money about it. So Mark had insider knowledge about Celadon. That's why he started the St. Christopher Fund. Well, the St. Christopher Fund would help somebody like this. I think it's a good idea in December, really. Let me get that up here since we've put it up here, and I have it right there. All right, here's where I'm trying to get $500 for him. I'm at $235, and I thank you all for doing that. I've thrown $25 in there, as I said, to get the pot started, and we have $235 of $500. So if we can get to $500 today or this month, that would be great. I'm going to put a link right here if I can do it. Boy, look at that. Jay'd be proud of me. Jay's still watching. Look at this, Jay. I put links in there and everything. So that's how you can donate to the St. Christopher Fund. It's a great program to help drivers. Can we assume you don't drive for Celadon? You can't assume that. I'm here at home today, so we never know, right? I'm already home. Tinfoil hat, D-Rye. The man, the myth, and the legend. I don't know where that person is, around here somewhere. So since your company went under, am I going to work for GP Transco? I've been out. All these recruiters have been in contact with me since Celadon closed. So I'll have to decide where to go to work next. What's up, Trucker Jay? Smith Transport's in the house with Ron. All right. Mark Anderson, what's happening? Mike Johnson, 4 years in Celadon. So what's going on over there? You got an in for us? What are they saying to you? Did you make it back home? Do you need a ride? What is happening? All right. The Princess of Dixie Hill is here. What's going on? It's good to see you. First time for Joe Yates. Good. On time, too. I appreciate it. First time here on time. I appreciate that. No demerits. Chad is a huge fan. Thank you very much. Jay, thanks, Mark. I appreciate you and all the help that you give the channel and everything. I really do. So thank you for that. Rumpelstiltskin, for just 10 cents a day, you can help feed a Celadon driver. Yeah, Sally Struthers, I heard, is going to be out helping them, although it is kind of a sad situation. I sent the links to post videos and some emails. All right, Jay Weeks, bye, Celadon. Thought, here we go again. Yeah, here is we go again. Right. Work for the thing, not Celadon. Hey, I don't get asked that ever, so I don't ever say where I work. Could be Celadon, maybe not. But either way, it keeps them out of my videos, and they don't get to tell me what to say. You don't get any trouble with your company. I think that's a better way to do it. So, and I don't recruit for them, unlike apparently every single other driver on the internet who was bombarding the Celadon sites with recruiting things. Give them my name and stuff. So always when there's money, there's vultures around. So hello, YouTube 541. Sierra Steve should be next. Oh, I didn't look them up. I wonder if they're public. The Barbecue Trucker, hello from Central Texas. It's 80 degrees. That's awesome. Brokers are taking advantage of people by taking 50% off the top of the load. All right. Jeffrey Herring, what is happening? Good afternoon. It is good to see you today. You sent two videos and an email about the videos that Smith Transport put out, that you could call into dispatch if we found a Celadon driver that needs a ride. That is very good. Some companies did that. Smith is one of them. Some companies were doing a different thing, which I didn't like. They said, look, if you call us, we'll give you a ride to our orientation. Now, that's not great, because what if you don't like the place? You don't know anything about the place. It's better to get a ride home, and some companies like Smith did that, which is good. Daycab Gear Jammer, greetings. What's happening from rainy California? It's raining here too. 51 here. How about that? Todd, you're sitting here in Effingham. You're always right down the street at my favorite truck stop, and I love it. The Critic, why did drivers stay after the initial bankruptcy? Look, as much as I feel bad for the drivers, I almost don't feel bad for drivers. I mean, their stock Friday was 41 cents. It was $27 not that long ago. Or when a company goes like that, people are being arrested, the company's being charged, it's time to bail. It is time to bail. And I have some other company stocks from companies that are on the death watch list here today. Mark Ferguson has 5 years of Celadon, but you have a quality truck, so you can take it to another company. I did see that people in the lease program, which is unusual at companies, right, are letting you put it on somewhere else. And I heard, all right, through the grapevine, that the part of the problem was Celadon was taking the money from you, but not giving it to the leasing company. So that's pretty awesome. But either way, I hope you find a place that you put that truck on, and the leasing company will at least work with you. I mean, holy mackerel, I don't want anybody to lose tens of thousands of dollars. Racket maker, Transco lines here, all right? Round and round Brown. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. It's good to see you. CFI sent people a message asking us to contact a manager if we need see a driver could need help. I would help personally with anything. Yeah, there are a ton of companies, and CFI, thank you for that too. That is great of you to do that are letting drivers give people a ride, that kind of thing, as passengers to help the other drivers. And some companies, even like Smith and that, are putting out there, no obligation. We'll give you a ride home. We'll give you a Hirschbach put out. They'll give you a bus ticket back to your house. So that is really good that they're doing that, Comfortable man brokers are crooks and they're not needed. All right. James Collins seen a lot of owner-operators put in Costco. I don't know about that. They going to use owner-operators from that? Good policy I have there. I appreciate that. There's a chicken. I heard about that. There's a chicken roaming around this guard check. I can't believe it. Martin Backer wants a radio check. Ride orientation means they don't care. I agree, right? It should. If you want to give somebody a bus ticket as a company, give them a bus ticket to their house and then say, hey, here's some information about the company. And if you want to check us out, that would be great. What's up with Selena? I don't have any idea. You're taking a Coke load trucking journeys from Howard to Louisville, Kentucky. You're on 80 trying to get to Ohio. Yeah, I know. It's really raining hard out here. Jeff Ravello, it's your favorite end user from California. I love it. End user, right. That's a good one. Swift sent me up to start the 30th. Hopefully they got some of Celadon's freight. They might. That's the other thing about this closure. Although it's bad for the drivers that happen, it's going to make freight rates go up, right? So freight rates will increase. And I put a video out also about things to do, right? Do and don't do. for people. Let's talk about that, right? Somebody said, I don't have any hours to fuel, but the card's back on. Go fill that truck up. It doesn't matter if you have hours, in this kind of situation, fill it up and take the violation later. This place is closed now, so who's going to give you a violation? Nobody. Fill the truck up, and then you can worry about how to get back or whatever. Holy mackerel. Cash is king. If you had a bunch of seniority at Celadon, you would have rode it out too, all the way to the end, to the bitter end. People, there's big holes in the boat, and every day, it's like being in a boat, and every day somebody drills another hole in the boat, and you're like, I don't know. That's how Celadon has been. I mean, we talked about this in the spring for people to leave this place now. Well, you can, and it's like every day another hole, another hole, another hole. You gotta go. Well, Bill, 237. I'm showing 250 up in the corner today. Big show today, and for people, I'll run a little behind on the chat as usual. As a contractor, I had to quit before they closed. The leasing company would not have worked with me, staying till the end. The leasing company is working. They are, right. They are. I did see that, and I'm glad for you. Where are you going to put the truck? What are you thinking about doing with it? I'm Tony 5000, your Trucking Answers listener. My stuff froze. A lot of folks. Yes, surprising, right? Miro, hello from Canada. Hey, thanks a lot for international, eh? Congratulations to Celadon for hosting drivers. Yes, this is a violation of the WARN Act, the Worker Adjustment, Retraining and Notification Act requires companies that have so many people, it's like, I think it's 50, they qualify, right, to give 60 days notice or to give you a paycheck for 60 days. You'll be lucky to get your paycheck this coming Friday if you work at Celadon. Believe me, the WARN Act has no teeth in it. It's so frustrating. All the executives in that violated this WARN Act should go to jail. Although it looks like most of them are going to go to jail anyhow. Pat Oaks, 100 goes towards the 500. Wow. I really appreciate that. I'll write that down. And people that are giving, if you give to the St. Christopher Fund, just send me an email. I'll take, it's an honor system. If you'll give them, $1, even $1, whatever, however much you can do. The St. Christopher Fund helps drivers that are stranded on the road, generally with medical conditions, to pay bills, so that they don't get their electricity turned off, can get back home and stuff like that. It's a great fund, and I thank you very much for that. All these companies have me closing and worried about your job. You work for mom and pop. Well, look, any place can close. Always have a plan B, always. Your place can close, Celadon can close, where I work close. It doesn't matter. Always be ready to move somewhere. Keep a clean record, right? And you can just move on to the next company. You won't have any problems, right? Port of Houston, lunch till 1300. Yikes. And you're not getting paid a lot for that. But you know what? You can have a roll arena while you're waiting. I was wondering if any trucks stripped out sitting at truck stops. Not yet. No, Celadon, it seems like they're either having drivers take the truck somewhere in the area of where the truck is and then giving bus tickets, or a lot of people were able to fuel over the weekend and could just drive home. It looks like that's going to be the thing. Here's another thing people said. I'll sell the tires and I'll sell fuel. Don't do that. That's illegal. Okay, do not strip the truck and sell it for money. You can't do that. Do not park the truck in your backyard. I will charge them storage fee. I'll always get that. I'll park the truck and charge them $200 a day storage until I get my paycheck. You can't do that. You don't own the truck. You don't have a contract with them for storage. You don't get to put a lien on the truck. Just turn the truck in and be done with it. That's what you have to do. You can't put a lien on the truck. You don't have any right to that. Hirschbach must be getting a kickback. I'm going to go with the good side of it and say somebody at Hirschbach said, look, this is wrong, and we're just going to do the right thing. That's how I'm going to do it. Wild Bill 256. Yeah, Brian Caps, who else is going down? Well, I'll tell you what. USA truck stock on February 5th was $20.46. Today, just before the show, it is $7.59. All right, you think that stuff doesn't matter? It matters. You got to take an eye into your company and see, well, the stock's down 2/3. I wonder why that is. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. I hadn't heard yet that the company closed down. All I heard was they're asking drivers not to quit. They're going to reorganize. It was all over the news today that they have ceased operations. Drivers are being asked to turn their trucks in, Trucking Journeys. That's what they said today. FreightWave, CDL Life, everybody carried that today, that they filed and are closing. Now, could they open again? Because they are filing Chapter 11. Yes. I guess theoretically, they could say, all right, we're open again. We have only 300 trucks or whatever. But look, it's time to get the heck out of there. Right, Jeffrey Herring? Yeah, 260, right? It's something. Celadon contacted you last week trying to get you come to work for them. Hey, be sure to get your bonus up front. When I looked this morning, their website is still active and you can still get hired on there. Al Johns, I feel bad for the drivers. I'm sure the corporate pinheads were lying through their teeth. Oh, of course. The corporate pinheads, which is true, we're lying. But the thing about this is not like suddenly they just close, like Billy Ocean. Suddenly they close. This place, we knew about it for a long time. The stock's been on the decline. It was $27 in 2015. Friday, it was 41 cents. All right, everybody was being arrested. The company's being charged. It's time to get out of there. You've heard Celadon Trucks can take their trucks to prospective employers. I don't know about that. I think that would be up to your employer. Celadon was telling them, park them here, park them there. That's what they were getting kind of messages today from what the drivers I saw on several sites. Couldn't you still get abandoned if your company is closing for leaving the truck and trailer? Well, look, if they tell you to take it to this place or whatever, fine. If you take it back to their terminal, I would take pictures of it, of course. Wherever you park it, take pictures. Try to bring it to their property, to something that they own. And I wouldn't consider that abandonment. I mean, I'd fight that. I'd say, here's a picture of it in front of their building or whatever. You've given their truck back to them. They're not working anymore. You really don't work there anymore. So it's hard to abandon it, once you don't work there. That would be my take on it. And I don't know if Celadon's going to be marking stuff down on there. Your argument at the next company is, look, they closed. I brought the truck back. Here's the pictures, Dixie fellow, greetings from Elizabethtown. You're waiting to pick up your load. I hope you're getting paid for it. That's the thing. Most of these Celadon drivers, ironically, are going to get a better job than they had. So the ironic thing of it is a lot of people will do better, Ruben, what's going on? Greetings from New Jersey. It's cold and rainy. Let's have a good week. Yes, let's keep it safe, and hopefully everybody still has a job at the end of the week that's on here. Thinking about Milan, sadly, they pay mileage to owner-operators, but it's the nearest place I have fuel to get to. Well, look, you could work that out later. Don't just go to a place. That's the other thing, right? Don't just go jump in a place because they'll get you there or whatever. Work that out with some other place that you want, Just going somewhere to go there, that's probably not going to be a great thing. How long does the leasing company give you to put the truck on somewhere? How about that? Hunter Brown, howdy, hello. Ryan, what a bunch of weasels. They were trying to get a buddy of mine to sign a lease. I know, for a shiny Volvo 2 weeks ago, they knew about this. This is a huge place, 3,000 and some drivers. It's just something. They just got that $100 and some million and bought all those trucks. Isn't that convenient? Wow. George from Canada, can you put a graphic of the St. Christopher Fund? Yes. How about there's a St. Christopher Fund? If anybody can just throw them a buck or whatever, and then you could just email me and say, hey, I gave him this much money. That'd be great. I'm just trying to keep track of it. I want to get him $500 this month because I think it's a great thing for drivers. They help a lot of drivers out. Smith Transport has given us permission to give rides home. I love it. And no obligation, which is great. You can go on duty. You can go on duty for fueling anytime without violation. That's true. You just wouldn't be able to drive. I'll give you that. But see, the thing is with the ELD, when you drive over to the fuel line, this is what somebody said, it was going to switch into driving. I guess you could creep over to the fuel line. Look, I would take the violation and fill the truck up. If the card's on in a situation like this, what is Celadon going to do now? There's nobody in the office. Do I know of any other companies that are in trouble? Not that are directly in trouble, but there's companies, when your stock is a third of what it used to be, I think that's a big problem. The economy in trucking and crashing. No, this is Celadon's problem. This is not an economy problem. Celadon, this goes back to 2014 when they misstated all their numbers and had to redo their paperwork and everything, which they never submitted. They said that would be first quarter of 2019. It never got submitted. The SEC charged them. The former executives are going to jail. Forget it. I mean, this is all them. Trucking Journey's got a spam call in the middle of the show. I wish I had a spam graphic. That's an offense to roll Arena Monday, and I demand an FBI investigation. Who else do you think is going down? I don't know. I mean, look, when your stock's a third, look at U.S. Express. June 15th of 2018, their stock is $16.62. All right, today it's $5.08. And we can't say, oh, well, it's because of a mega carrier. Because here's Swift. Swift stock, January 2nd of this year, $25.84. Today, $35.64. Up, 40%. So can't just be that. There's a reason. Everyone's getting a bus ticket from Celadon. That's what drivers were saying, right? Michael saw Celadon Trucking heading on 70. Headed back to Indy, right? Rumpelstiltskin to Celadon, right? They made it 35 years. Cash is king. Support your local impound lot and drive your Celadon truck to the impound lot and let the bank pay to get it out of pocket. I just think, and I would feel really good about that, especially working there. But I think the thing to do is take it to the terminal, especially if you have fuel to do so. Your car's probably there too. So take it to wherever you park your car for them. Give them their truck. If there's nobody there, leave it there. Leave the key in it, whatever. Take a picture of everything and get all your stuff out of it and head out, really. You're hungry, stopping in Bordertown, New Jersey for a roller wiener. Smith gave us permission to give rides. I like that. I have friends that have leases through Celadon that were told to take the truck to Ritchie Brothers and they have to get home on their own. Well, I did say that a lot of drivers were getting offered bus tickets. That is possible. And this is the thing about it, right? This is one of the other things I said on this weekend too. Always have money to get home. Have $300 available to you. Always. That'll get you home from pretty much anywhere in the country. Always get a $300. There's people that will get you home and stuff, but always have $300. You might have to get home on your own. You might. What happens to the Celadon trucks and trailers? Do they get sold? Yeah, in the bankruptcy, if they completely bankrupt out of everything, right, they will just be sold just like HVH and everything else. Yep, there'll be an auction. Corey, what's up? It's been a while. Still loving being away from England, I bet. Heard their contract has gotten worse. Really? What else could they do in the contract? Holy mackerel. I mean, there wasn't, other than they come and beat break your knees or whatever. That's about the only worst thing they could do on it. Sad that it comes to driving to sell stuff to buy fuel to get home. That's how much mega cares. I agree with you, and I don't think you can do it because it's illegal. So we can't stoop to their level. Always have a few $100s, right? You can't sell fuel. I did hear people saying to sell the fuel. You can't do that. Can't sell the tires, right? You don't own any of that stuff. And I understand what the problem is, but you're turning your keys today, Mike. Where is there someone to take the keys from you? Western Express rocks. Oh, yikes! You need to get out more. Hello, Mark. Love the videos. I appreciate you being here. Look, Western Express Griffin is one of the lowest paying companies I've ever seen. You could go almost anywhere just picking a random company out of the phone book and make more money. They're in the 20s for the Western side. Is U.S. Express on the brink? I don't know if they're on the brink. Look, their stock is garbage. It's only worth a third of what it was a year ago. So is that great? That isn't great. And it isn't, because they're mega carrier. Swift stock is up 40%. So watch the signs exactly. You remember when Celadon, and I lost my thing here, of course. Holy crap, where am I? I remember when Celadon started in a dirt lot on the south side of India, 85, right? But that guy died, in 2016? The original founder died. And look what has happened. Boy, that's a surprise. Whenever the original founder of a large place dies, the place usually goes down the toilet. I guess it's a good thing my company's not publicly traded. Well, I don't know if it's good or not. The ones that are not publicly traded, you can't find out as much about. So that's good and bad, Celadon was early bailed out. I know. Where'd all that money go? Celadon will reopen as a different name. They could, but a lot of the people are going to jail. They got a lot of problems there. And I'm speculating they're going to jail, right? Werner's next to close to the lawsuit. Maybe. They could reorganize. Like somebody said, well, Dean Foods, because I got a ton of hate over the weekend for saying that they're closing. Oh, they said, well, Dean Foods went bankrupt, and look, they're still going, because Dean Foods didn't strand everybody. They said, look, we're going to go bankrupt. We're reorganizing. Everything goes on as normal. Here, they just turned everybody's fuel card off, and nobody could get a hold of anybody. Once that happens, you're finished. Celadon is trading at 2.7 cents, down 90. Oh, I had it earlier. They were at 3.1 cents when about an hour ago, so it's down slightly. Why were they trying to recruit last week? Because the money they get for it. They bring you in, and they can claim all that. Hunter Brown, I'm glad I'm not at Waxahachie. The Celadon yard is going to be flooded. I know. I cannot imagine where they're going to put all the trucks in Indianapolis. Just check Celadon stocks are 2.5 cents. Oh, crap. It is a buy. It's a buy. Look, if they come out of it, even go to 8 cents, look how much money you'd make. Always keep your tank full no matter if they're closing or not closing. Well, that's true enough. Certainly, once you hear about stuff, the card goes off and then it gets turned back on, go fill your truck up immediately. Immediately at the next place that card is open to. King Bob, sorry you're late. Demerits go out, but thank you for being here. K-Dub Milkman, now's the time to become an owner-operator. You could buy a Celadon outfit and bus ticket for $20. I'll say that buying some of these trucks, they just bought a bunch of new trucks in the summer. They'll be auctioned off. So those trucks would probably be a pretty good buy. What happens if I contact Celadon Recruiting? I don't know. Call them up and let us know what they say. Their website was still up as of a few hours ago. I stayed with a company plant until close. Was eligible for dislocated worker program. Right. Not sure if available today. There are programs for people, and the state will probably do something here in Indiana, but they are in violation of the Warren Act. They're supposed to get 60 days notice and didn't. Nothing will happen, but it is a violation. Just PC to the truck stop? Certainly, if your company allows it. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. We don't have PC available. If you're just now showing up at the live stream, get 20 demerits and must buy 5 roller wieners for the host. Exactly. Trucking Journeys. I heard that a large car carrier is filing Chapter 11. Who? They just passed the Celadon truck at 75. Yeah, they're all headed back to their terminal, right? Basically, it's Celadon's chickens coming home to roost, and the drivers are taking the hit. I agree, but here's the thing. Drivers, we knew about this. The drivers that are still there, oh my gosh, in the spring, it was time to bail out of this place. There were so many signs here that this place was the next one basically to close. Heard Celadon was one taking cheap freight. I'm sure somebody wrote this too to me. Oh, Mark, what do you know? You don't know anything. I've been here 3 years, and I made almost $50,000 last year. I'm like, well, that's a reason to stay there. Almost $50,000. That's pretty incredible after 3 years. I mean, there are always people defending, but you have to look at things objectively. Like, oh, yes, sure, you're making $45,000, but that doesn't matter if the company's going to close. You're making zero. Starting today, you're making nothing. Your check Friday, I'll be surprised to see get people paid. Clay, Celadon host themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody's struggling, seems like right now, but this, Rhino, this Celadon thing, this is all they're doing. As a Swift driver, I could tell you that without Night we were going to tank. That's true, right? But it saved them, and look, the stock's up. It worked. They merged. It worked. Everybody's happy. The Swift Night are snuggling together, and their stock is up big time. You saw 2 Celadon trucks on I-5. Oh, they don't go out there too much, so I wonder how those people are going to get home. Do we have any information about a plan to help lease operators, Martin? Yes. TEL said that you're going to be able to put the truck on apparently at another company if you want to that will take your lease. So because they work with other companies, USA Truck is one of them. I don't know all the companies, but yeah, contact the leaseholder and they're going to work with you. Surprisingly, a lot of times this doesn't work. And I think Celadon drivers got lucky. Falcon drivers got hosed out of that money. But I think you're going to get lucky, and there'll be a few choices for you to put the truck on. I don't exactly know how long you have. Not a long time to get it put on. But, yes, you're not going to be out totally as of right now. Not forget working with companies after getting burned by SOAR. Took your truck to owner op. Yes, SOAR. Oh, my gosh, what a place that was. We need a cat break. We do. Holy mackerel. After all this. We do need Gracie couldn't even believe it this weekend. It was it was just crazy what was going on. Where did I see about this? Imagine if you had your pay applied to the ComData card. Okay, Trucker Hershey. Somebody wrote that too, okay? A number of people. One woman said, and I felt super bad for her. She wrote in, my husband works there and we can't access the card. She said, we have over $5,000 in the card. Now, I don't know who does that, okay? Maybe they're new. Never leave money on a pay card at a company. Never. Never leave that money on that card. If you have a pay card, I don't care what your company is. It could be the best company in the world. Go get that money off there. And Red Monkey Trucking wrote to me and said, hey, Mark, look, you can get a green dot card, which apparently is at Walmart and other places maybe. As long as you deposit $1,000 a month on that card, they don't charge you for the card. Okay, so it's not even like it's a charge. Then you'd have access to it. If your money's on your fuel card and they turn it off, you can't get your money. Not only you're not going to get paid, you can get the money that's already on there. Go today. Get money off of that card and never get paid on a card that the company owns. Always get paid. Now go get a bank account if you can. But if you don't want one, can't get one, go get your own pay card. Oh my gosh. Why don't these drivers have a bank account and debit card? Some people owe the banks money and can't get an account. Some people are like, banks are the devil, and so they don't want to. Either way, get your own pay card. CFI's hiring. Got a few at orientation today. That's fast. If you wear it, make it a parrot. Of course, always do blue parrot for people. You can hear yourself think and talk right in front of the truck. Blue parrot, get one today. That's a Blue Parrot break. I'm sure new people that are on here are like, who is this crazy guy? I think that guy was saying Western Express pays him with rocks. Yeah, that'd probably be worth more than what they actually give you, which is virtually nothing. I would be worried about working for Taylor out in Hope Mills. Right. They said Taylor was not affected by this. I did read that, right? I think it was Taylor was the only one. Forget that. Oh, my gosh. As part of the video where Smith Transport reassured us about our finances, they said we're buying 100 brand new Pete's and 100 new trailers in January. I wonder how the January thing will work. 286 reaching a record high show. Congratulations. I know the Celadon thing is just crazy out there. I thought there'd be a few more Celadon people on here. Not everybody's able to get a bank account and checking account. Yeah, exactly. Not everybody can get one. They may owe a bank money, and so you can't get one, but everybody can get a green dot card and own it themselves, and that card accepts direct deposit. So get your money from your work, deposit it on a card that you own. Then you are not stuck, because you can't get the money off a Comdata card that they have shut off. Please, I beg everybody today to go get one. If you deposit $1,000 on a green dot, I should sign up and be some kind of affiliate or something. But if you get $1,000 on there, you don't have to pay any fee for a green dot card. Can Celadon execs request rooming together and dispatch from the federal bar room? They should. Since they make everybody else their room together, they should have to get their own cell together. Oh, you heard Celadon didn't buy the trucks, they leased them? Oh, so those trucks will just go back to the leaseholder. Did they get them from like Penske or something? Because they had like a variety of trucks. Miro, maybe the top CEO of trucking companies, should go to prison. But because all the money will happen, I think somebody here is going to get something, but not for the WARN Act violation, which is why they should. We should have to go in there and sell all their property and pay the drivers. That's what should happen. Either if you don't pay them the 60 days, we come and take your house and your Bentleys and everything and sell it. You just passed a brand new 579 from Celadon on I-80 going to Ohio. Yep. If he's coming this way, he's just going to cruise right across the state. New trucks bring more money in auction. They know where they filed bankruptcy. They bought the new trucks. If they leased them, they would just go back to whoever leased them to them, right? If Celadon doesn't pay the paycheck, couldn't they file a claim for unpaid wages? Yes, you can file with the Department of Labor, which absolutely you should do, and you should go down immediately and file for unemployment. If you are out of work at Celadon and need some cash, you certainly qualify for it. But that takes time. It'd be better, too, if they just paid you, really. They're cooking the books. Yeah, they got in trouble for that. Kim, Mark sounded the alarm months ago. If you stayed at Celadon, that's on you. I mean, I agree. I've been talking about this since the spring, begging people to leave, and people said, oh, no, this is a great place. They weren't even a great place in pay anyway. It wasn't even really working there to start with. Beto says 50 a year. People are proud. I know. He was all indignant that I was saying anything. Oh, I made almost 50,000 after 3 years. Wow. Don Pepe, good afternoon. I hope you have a great day. Yeah, it's going wonderful here today. Stephen, greetings from Ontario. Boy, international in the house. Celadon bought Hindman from a different place. Almost went to work for them. They closed up too, right? Didn't the Canadian part close too? I think only Taylor is open. Get towed back to terminal. You could do that. Nighthead reinvested a lot since they took over, trimmed a bunch of fat, and have implemented stricter policies. It's worked. Look, their stock's up $10. There's, out of 25, that's huge. That's a lot of money. James Faust, yes, right. Big day today. I was in Walton, Kentucky this morning delivering to Cummins. Had 3 Celadon trucks bobtail and pull their trailers out of the yard. Yeah, nobody will load them. I guess they're having people get the trailers if they could. Now, I don't know if I would do any of that. How do I know I'm going to get paid for this? That's all I'm saying. You're not going to get paid for it. Just drive the truck back to the terminal. If Celadon runs out of fuel, get towed to the terminal. That's the only way you could do it. On their website, it says Smith pays $65 to $70. Can someone elaborate? Oh, yes. There's some people that will help you with that. I was at FedEx a couple days ago, and they said they didn't even load Celadon trailers, even though they had a contract. Yeah, because everybody knew. I mean, this came out last week, and that was it. Once people stopped loading you, you're finished. I think this is a blessing for Celadon drivers. Look, some of these drivers are going to come out ahead. They don't see it now, of course, but I think that some of them are going to come out ahead. Chima is a good card also, Antoine. Do they have the same kind of deal? You can direct deposit on it. The Green Dot, and I'm not sponsored by Green Dot, believe me. I just happened to be looking it up from what they said. Green Dot is a Visa branded card, so it works everywhere. Did you hear that Volvo's laying off 700 due to low demand for trucks? Yes. Everybody bought trucks last year. Everybody bought tons of trucks, though. So this is the downside of the huge market from last year, really. I thought all you needed for a bank account is an ID and $50, Norman. Well, it depends. Like where I am at the Old National Bank, you don't really even need $50. But if you owe the bank money, you have to give them the money you owe them. Like maybe you had an account that was overdrawn before they'll open an account, and you're on the bank blacklist. You can't open a bank account anywhere. If I owed this bank money, I couldn't go to Bank of America and open an account. They go, no, you got to pay that off. So, and that is some people's situation, and I understand that. And so go get your own pay card, a Chime, which apparently is okay, Green Dot something. GP Transco's here. Good to see you today. You'll be bombarded with more people again. Thank you for coming in. If you have the Comdata MasterCard, the company can only turn the fleet site off. I'm telling you, people could not access their money. Okay, and I'm not risking that. Oh, well, you can't turn it off. There were tons of people that could not get the money off the card. They couldn't. It's not worth it. It isn't. Go get your own card. They're free. If Chime is free, then that's in too. Green Dot, it doesn't cost anything if you'll just put $1,000 in there. King Bob works for GP Transco. All right, well, what do you think of GP Transco? Pretty good? No good? What do you think? I'm going to say it's probably on the good side of good. Western Express has a new winter shorts and boots uniform for 2020. Yikes. Celadon Panther and another company own all going down the tubes. I didn't know Panther was part of Celadon. Andy's World, crowing cross country, and I'm turning in your first 3,900-mile week. Yeah, wow. We know where we know where the money is going right now. Holy mackerel. Parrot, wear it, parrot. Oh, can you pair your parrot? Nice. You can get a free bank account online even if you're interest in your funds. I don't know if those are the same. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not some kind of banking expert, believe me. But I don't know if you can do that if you owe banks money. I don't know. I know you can get these cards and get paid. No matter what you do, get an online account, do something. Do not get paid on that card. GP Transco's getting calls from Celadon drivers, I bet. And the thing is, if they go there, they're going to realize a huge raise. So that's going to be good for them too. See, Lost, it's awesome that GP Transco watches the show. I think it's really something that GP Transco's in on most of the shows. It's pretty great. And I appreciate it. Yes, I did. I read the article. If there's some Celadon drivers that would like to ask GP Transco questions, they're here in the show right now. I'm afraid this is the start of something disruptive. I don't think it's wild speculation to assume there are many companies that are operating the way Celadon is. Oh, I'm sure, but they got busted at it numerous times, and they never were able to fix it. Wasn't Celadon one of the crap company of the week? Yes, I've never recommended the place. Even before all this really started, I never recommended the place. The pays, they're super low there. You could do way better. Sir Cerebral, I love it. After all, the Federal Reserve just had to buy almost $73 billion in short-term securities to keep the overnight interbank lending market operating. I know I was just discussing with Gracie the overnight interbank lending market operations, and that's the conclusion that we came with out as well about the interbank operating policies. So that's what you call a highbrow trucking show right there. As far as Smith Transport, only the roadside we're busy as anything. We got a lot of UPS and FedEx loads that were overbooked, and apparently they make us a lot of money. Well, that's the upside of this. People that haul the same kind of freight will get more freight. And for our owner-operator friends here, you're going to realize, hopefully, a pay spike and rates. Celadon hauls a lot of loads. They're a huge place. I heard from the dispatcher we're going to try to move in on some of the contract freight. Oh, I'm sure there'll be the same kind of feeding frenzy. Your chickens are coming home to roost, Bobby Boucher. Was that somebody at Celadon? All these new trucks bought got repoed, and what happened to the money from the sale of these other places? Yeah, good question, right? Go look at the CEO's house. Did no execs of public companies learn from Enron? It always comes out in the end. It does. And this place is busted, and who pays the price? All the workers. Fired, all the drivers fired, right? Some of them not even home. Some of them are days from their house. They're not even going to be able to get home for days. Does Celadon care? No, they don't care. That's the thing. There were people too, because I only slept a few hours Friday night. I got right back up on it. There were people in the forum saying, "Oh, look, they hired me. I have to deliver this load. I'm loyal to the company." Look, the company doesn't care about you. I mean, it's great that you're loyal and everything, and that is wonderful. But ultimately, when the company's closing, there's no load to deliver. There's no company to be loyal to. That loyalty, where did it get anybody? Nowhere, right? You're there to do a job, but once they're not paying you, you can't get fuel and stuff. All that goes out the window. They don't care about you. You can't care more than they care. And it's great that you want to do a good job, of course. But at this point, just get yourself home. GP Transco's going to need more trucks. Exactly. Where else can we learn about roller windows on Skynet? Believe me, no other show, right? Only that. Eventually, the trucks will all drive themselves and run us all over. Celadon has been in the news for 3 years. I know. And people ignored it. People were just closed their eyes to it, like the three monkeys, right? Eyes, ears. I don't see any evil right now. And this is what happens. There's a ton of Celadon trails at Coors and Golden. Those are going to have to be picked up by somebody. And believe me, whoever, if any of you are in this recovery business part of it, get paid up front before you go bring these trailers in. This is why and how trucking companies continue to take advantage of drivers, because some drivers get excited about making $50,000. True, right. More drivers need to raise their standards, aim higher. This is the problem. You start at a place, maybe at Celadon, and so you stay there. You start at 40, and now you're making 50. And you're like, wow, I've gotten a big raise. You don't ever look outside of your own company. You're insulated into your own company. Take a look around and see what's out there, and you're like, wow, I can go get way more money, 55, 60, 65, you know. It's like the wheel on Wheel of Fortune. I agree with Michael. GP Transco is going to need to purchase more tractors. I agree. We're ordering 100 new trucks in the beginning of the year. Wow, that's true. They're getting a ton of new trucks over there, and they are not on the same path as this place. Holy mackerel. And I'm off the spot here. We're going to see a trailer that says GP Transportation, means it's the older batch and will be replaced soon. Okay. So they get new trailers from Ontario. Celadon is still recruiting on the Canadian side. Really? Now, I haven't checked. If somebody can go check. The website was up as of this morning. You could still get hired on there and lease a truck. Crazy. Very true. I work for CFI, but leaving soon. Over the road is crazy. Speeding drivers, 3.2 million drivers. I'm better off with local. Okay, yeah, there's plenty of those too. So I said earlier, new giveaway is 5 jobs. Yeah, GB Transco giveaway is jobs today. It's called check system. If you owe any bank money, you're on a national blacklist. Oh, okay, right. I knew it worked like that, right? If you owe bank money, you can't get a bank account at any bank. You can't go to another bank because they got all that figured out. And so there are people like that may owe the bank hundreds of dollars. And so they get paid. Oh, they go, I'll just get paid on my company card. Don't do that. Go get your own card. We're good at keep everything clean. They do. If you give me a new truck guarantee, oh, dang it, can't do that. If you get direct deposit to a PayPal account, and PayPal will give you a MasterCard. Okay, I didn't know PayPal took direct deposit. All right, so everybody can go get that and get a PayPal MasterCard, which would be a debit card the same way, and use the money off your account. Same thing, then you have your money. There were tons of drivers that could not get their money off their card at Celadon. They couldn't. Never put money on a company card. It doesn't matter if it's the greatest company ever. Don't put the money on their card. Stanley, is GP Transco paid sponsor of the show? No, I don't take any money from trucking companies. Never. I never take a dime from a trucking company as much as I'd like to. So no trucking company. If they're ever in the chat or anything, or I talk about them, I don't ever take any money. I might take a shirt or whatever. That's about it. I don't take money from trucking companies. So they are not a paid sponsor. And so there you go. Hey, Mark, up here looking at Marsh old headquarters in Yorktown. Sad with Celadon closing. Yes, it is. Had a friend that went to work for Panther, B license he's had for days, and then his check was $120. That's pretty good, right? Well, with the B license, you're kind of limited on what you're doing. Are there an asset-based company? What about the stuff that's paid off? Anything that's paid off at Celadon would be part of a bankruptcy, right? And that would just be listed as an asset and sold. I love my 2020 Freightliner. It is amazing here. I don't think I'll ever leave. See, the place is pretty nice. Pretty nice. And by the way, that's what everybody tells me. People write in and say, wow, you know, I talked to GP Transco and they actually talk to me like a professional. Isn't it amazing? That's why I'm saying if you're at a place like one of these mega places or a large place, you can go somewhere where people will treat you like a professional. And I have this here. So check them out right here on the web. Right there is GP Transco. Look at the trucks, teal. I don't guarantee you'll get a truck that looks like that, though. People said, Mark, you said I'd get that truck. I don't. I don't pick your truck for you. They pick your truck. That's just a representation of some of the trucks that they may or may not have. So I'll be more clear about that. I have nothing to do with what kind of truck you get or whatever over there. Woodforest Bank, that's in most Walmarts, is a second chance bank. So would they give you an account there? Just past the Celadon truck on the way to your delivery. I hope they get back home. Hello, Red Monkey Trucking. What's going on? Yeah, I was just telling people about Green Dot where you said that yesterday. I owe Wells Fargo almost 1,000, so I went to Regions. Most of them won't do that. Most of them will not do that. I'm a flatbed driver looking away from Prime. I have a year and a half. Well, why don't you give GP Transco a call? What if it's a Comdata card and you have a different card to fuel, but you still get a different one? I would not use any card that the company gives me. I just wouldn't. The other cards, now we're finding several more. There's tons of free ways for you to get paid without a bank account on a card. Don't use the one the company gives you. Ultimately, it might be, registered as a company asset during a bankruptcy. Don't risk it. That's your money. Use it how you want. Remember, for people here in Indiana, right, that see those commercials. But seriously, that's your pay. That's your money. You control it. Get your own card. Now, apparently, you can get a PayPal. There's different ways to do it. Well, Bill says he stopped at GP Transco to say hello, and they were nice to him. Good. I love that. Right. I learned from Celadon with market maker Islamview. Okay. We don't guarantee a new truck at GP Transco. That's the thing, right? Amazon should buy Celadon. It's like Black Friday sale for them, and they need the trucks. There's a bunch of trucks there for them to buy. All right. Celadon contracts are mostly automotive. They were. And so from what I heard also last week, a lot of the automotive plants were loading other people thinking, crap, we can't have our freight get stuck. Because that's the thing about a car. You can't make everything except the one part that doesn't come in that one trailer. Well, this car doesn't have a passenger seat or whatever, so they loaded other trucks too. As soon as I saw that, I knew they were going to close. They're not going to be able to get through business once they can't get any freight on their trailers. And, my money from Celadon hit my bank at 10 this morning. Really? What do you mean it hit your bank? Do they normally pay on Mondays? To those who ask, they do not. GP Transco does not hire out of Florida and Georgia, right? They do hire otherwise, other than that, like the other 56 states. I don't know. I went to public school. There's a lot of states. Quite a lot of states. Where did I go up here? All right, just picked up. I'm going to start. I drive a day cab. I'm currently at 108,000. Wow. Got to get in with better paying companies. William, wow. Does GP Transco hire to Mississippi? Yes. Just picked up 2 Celadon drivers. They're freaked out and panic stricken, I bet. Going to feed them and drop them off at their homes in Detroit. That's pretty awesome. And thank you for that. Tell them, look, there's other jobs. There are jobs. Don't just go to the first job. Don't go to just the first job. Where'd they leave their trucks, too? William wouldn't open the door for 40 to 50. I know, but see, that's the thing. People stay at their own company, and then they never look around. I think you should always have a couple companies you would call if your company closes tomorrow, right? Always have a plan B ready. Be ready to go. Schneider, I want them closed too. I didn't look them up. I don't know if they're public anyway. I saw a GP Transco truck the other day. Took a picture to show you the trucks are real. I know. I never see the teal ones for some reason. They always send the white trucks by me here. Does GP Transco hire owner-operators? Let's see what they say about that. My company recently got a new pay package, glass and flatbeds. Love it. Could you take a look at it and tell me what I think? It's a paid downgrade. I don't think I should. Could it depend? A lot of things depend on what you think about the place. If it's satisfying, what you want to do. Does it get you home enough? That kind of thing. That's more important than money, I think. Although if you're making $25,000, you may want to check something out. Only thing it's called a check system, keeps you blackballed for 10 years. Yeah, right. That's why you get one of these pay cards. There's crazy drivers local too, but the more you drive, the more of them you see. I think their website is down. Oh, finally. We work with owner-operators. There we go. GP Transco, they earn 80% and no trailer fees. They're still hiring as of online. Did you apply, Pat? Did you get offered? Oh, what if you got an offer letter back? That'd be great. Eventually, only companies on the road be Swift, England, Werner, and JB Hunt. That'll be sad, won't it? Swift and Schneider are next. Wonderful. Talked to England driver who was training someone who washes their hair in the toilet. Okay, we're done with the training then would be the answer. How would he know that? He'd have to tell him. And who does that? Who would actually do that? Hey, GP Transco, we're in the decision to buy some Western Stars. Right, I thought they were getting Western Stars. Why do I push GP Transco? GP Transco's just in here in the chat, and I like the place, okay? Any company's welcome to come in the chat and chat with drivers. GP Transco is one of the only ones that's ever done it. When demand outpaces supply, you raise your rates. Don't buy more trucks. I know, but tons of people last year bought trucks, and so now this year, truck sales are down. I agree with that. Right. Greetings from the Green Bay area. TJ Jones in the Bull of the Woods. Okay, I'm back. I had to step out. Look up overnight interbank lending. I'm more confused now than I was 5 minutes ago. GP Transco, were you Googling up overnight interbank lending rate? Maybe we'll do a show about that. I'll do a show about the overnight interbank rate. Best Bet is a credit union. They help, and there's more than a regular bank. They usually local. If you can get in, aren't they in the same bank thing or not? I work for Tyson Foods, make about 70, but would have been much more if we had detention pay and got paid more for detention. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's the thing about Tyson. I don't like Tyson because they don't pay any time for sitting at all. You sit and they don't have detention pay. It's not like, oh, you get it after a certain time. You just don't get it at all. I don't like that. I think people should, personally, I think everybody should pay hourly, but most places don't. I just don't like that there's no detention. Does GP Transco use driver-facing cameras? No. They don't have the driver. They had a policy, let's see what they say, where they were going to pay extra if you wanted to turn it on. They were going to allow you to turn it on and pay you 2 cents. Are you still doing that over there? Or did you decide on doing that? What is my position on the flat earth? Obviously, the earth is flat. You can look outside and see that it's flat just by looking, because that's science right there. Just your eyes, just looking. We all know it's flat. I mean, obviously, you roll a ball, you can see the ball rolling in a flat plane. Okay. We do our best to be a good place for drivers to have a career. Yeah, if you'd like to check out the website, exactly. Go check out GP Transco website. It's any companies worth checking out, right? You got questions, check them out. Companies that don't answer questions, that bothers me too. I mean, you can call a place and they go, oh, we're not answering. That's crazy. Come on. A lot of companies are not hiring out of Florida. Yeah, it's hard to get out of these end states. GP doesn't hire from Texas. All right, they said Florida and Georgia. The high cost of running auto transmission trucks causing this madness? I don't think so. My auto truck gets nearly 9 miles to the gallon. So I don't think so. When I worked for Celadon, they paid on Friday. You just made it out, too. Royal Trucking is in West Point. Okay, keep this in mind. These poor Celadon chaps, I love it, Rumpelstiltskin, are now unemployed, and Christmas is right around the corner. I agree. I just don't want to see them jump right into the next company. Oh, here's a company that'll hire me. Boom, I'm in. Right? At least take a little bit of time to find a company, because you don't want to have to quit again because it doesn't get you home or doesn't do the things you want. Right? To save a day's pay or whatever, don't just jump right at the first place. Get the thing that you want out of the company. Okay, here it is. Driver-facing cameras are an option. They like get 2 cents. That's what I thought. So they are doing that. GP Transco is the first company I'm calling as Plan B. Yeah, keep it in mind then, right? You can use them as a Plan B or whatever. Always know where you're going to go. Oh, that rhymed. I love it. Either way, right? Always have a Plan B in case your company closes. We could all be next. You never know. You've seen Trucker Hershey's seen drivers washing their feet in the sink. Now, come on, people. Take a shower. Celadon core values from Fueler's Trucker. First, we host the driver, then the investor, then the driver. Oh, right. We forgot about the driver. We did that twice because it's twice as nice. That's legitimately awesome that GP Transco gives additional 2 cents if you star in your own show. I agree. Look, I don't like a driver-facing camera at all, and I wouldn't take the 2 cents. That's personal. But if you want the 2 cents and they give it to you, take it. And since the camera's optional, I'm in. Optional things I'm always in for. So if you want the 2 cents, grab the 2 cents. That's a couple of grand a year to star on your own show. I have 13 months experience local and never done over the road. Would it be hard for me to get an over the road job? Yes, it would actually be hard for you to get an over the road job because you don't have over the road experience. Surprisingly, many companies, not all of them, many companies want you to have over the road experience. So even though you could have hundreds of thousands, millions of local miles, they consider you to have no miles and may put you with a trainer. It doesn't make any sense. Well, Bill said in Kansas, the earth is definitely flat. That's where the proof is right there, right? On the other side, is that where the UFOs come from? Possibly. We don't know what's on the other side because it's flat. We can't get over there. Yeah, Charles King, your stomach isn't flat. I wish it was as flat as the earth, right? There's an OTR company in Quebec that pays by the hour. Look, there are a few of them. I found a few. If Quebec, that's another one. JAT is the one I found here in the United States. They're out of Fort Wayne. They pay hourly, $25 an hour plus overtime for all hours logged past 40 hours a week. So there you go. When the automatic brakes, it's going to break the bank. Maybe. It won't break my bank, I guess, as a company driver, but I guess so. Either way, it gets a ton of fuel mileage. So I guess the question, if you're getting 9, how much does an automatic in one of these trucks cost? Well, Celadon executives going to prison going to have to face convict-facing cameras. Oh, that's ironic. They'll be on camera most of the time. I don't even know if they had cameras, right? The only way a driver-facing camera becomes mandatory if there are repeated distracted offenses as a last resort. GP Transco, and that's understandable. Well worth it. If you're the one causing the problem, then you get the camera. Otherwise, no cameras. 8.5 in a 2019 Volvo. That's very good, right? So for a mile or 2 per gallon, it might be worth putting a transmission in. What happened to Celadon? Just got on the chat. Johnny boy. Really? Okay, look. Celadon bankrupt and closed. If you work there, you don't have a job anymore. Take your truck back to your house. Right. Well, Bill, do you live in Kansas? Right. If the earth was flat, cats would knock everything off the edge. That is the truth. Holy mackerel. That's what they do all the time. I guess I should put this up here, too. I haven't put this up for a minute. I'm always collecting for the St. Christopher Fund here this month. I'd like to get to $500. You know, the fund helps drivers that are stranded on the road because of a medical condition generally, help them pay a bill or two, whatever, get them home. If you donate, if you could shoot me an email, I'd appreciate it so that I can just add it up on here. I'll just take your word for it. And as always, I say, you know, this month, especially for Celadon drivers too, right? This is a huge stress. Look, November to December, that's the worst month for suicides in the country, all right? Because of the holidays, you'd think it'd be festive, but it isn't for everybody. If you need to use this number, use it, right? Go to the website, use the number, and do that first, okay? Especially if you are here at this place, use the number if you need it. And there is that. All right, so there I go with that. Celadon will keep it rolling in prison, I guess. I hope so. We was our feet in sync. It's called voodoo before praying. Okay, can't use the sink for that, please. GP Transco gave you a mini fridge and power converter already installed in an APU. That's pretty nice. They reimbursed my expense to go to orientation, gave me a car to use while I was there, and paid for lunch. That's pretty good. That's more than I see at a lot of companies, right? That's what I'm saying. Holy mackerel. 2 soups. No soup for you. Their page is still up. It's their storied past and exciting future. Did you apply? Orientation at Celadon is 8 days. Yikes. 83,000 at AAA Cooper. Dedicated, always hiring. See, that's the money right there. Who's at a decent place, you know, where these Celadon drivers can get a job? Celadon orientation is 70 hours in 8 days. Who's on the death list? Well, for me, you know, my next places on the death list are USA Truck and US Express, personally. You know, their stock is a third of what it used to be on these places. That's not great. You know, when other companies are going up, they're going down. So they're not like on death's door like Celadon has been, but they need to turn something around over there. Al Johns, you hate your company's driver-facing camera. Corporate pinheads telling you how to drive your truck. Wrong, but are they drivers? Probably not. If they do have a CDL, something happened. I agree, right. That's a lot of companies that have cameras, and the person that talks to you is 20 years old and doesn't drive a truck. You know, they're in college. Oh, dude, you rolled through that stop sign. Let me adjust my hair bun. Come on. Getting loaded or unloaded, it's on duty, or can it be sleeper berth? All right, I say that if you're getting loaded or unloaded, you're on duty because you're in preparation to drive. You have to be ready to drive. If you're in the sleeper, though, that's sleeper time. Sleeper berth time, you have to be resting in the sleeper berth. So if you're in the sleeper, you can log sleeper berth time. Over the road requires lots of trip planning and being away from home, something locals are not used to. I guess if they don't have any over-the-road experience, that's probably true. That's true. Taking my test Wednesday or Thursday at CR England. Ugh. Watch out for the contract there. It's Hot Wings Monday. What are they doing? Somebody said the contract is different. What's going to be your starting pay at England? 6 miles to the gallon, 43,000 a trailer, never come out of the big hole. Nice. Yeah, your truck, 6 miles to the gallon, you're doing good. Blasphemy, Hot Wings Monday. Yeah, what is up with that? AAA Cooper is always unloading too. Do you have to unload the truck? Definitely on duty. Celadon is now the best over a barrel trucking company. Is there any reason that many truck companies closed down this year? Should we worry? I don't. Look, Celadon had a huge problems. They misstated their earnings back to 2014. The SEC fined them. They charged the company. The company actually got charged with a felony. Former executives are going to jail. They had tons of problems for years and years and never were able to pull out of it. This isn't an economy thing. This is a Celadon specific problem. They were supposed to restate those earnings by first quarter of 2019. They never did. They never turned anything in. They said, oh, we're still working on it. We're still working on it. So no investor, nobody could rely on any numbers back to 2014 that the company was saying. And they just were finished. They just could never climb out of that. Amarillo's windier than Chicago, right? Carl says Dark Horse. I've seen them around. I'm hourly at AAA, so you do get paid for it. Since Celadon is tanking, other cars out here like the NFL draft. I know. Oh my gosh, this weekend has been crazy with these everywhere. Vultures everywhere for these companies. Every driver, every company was on there. Not every company, right? Lots of companies, and it was all the same kind of group of companies. Oh, we're so sorry for you. We'll give you a ride to orientation, and drivers are like, use my name. Here's this company, use my name, so that they can all glom in and get their bonus money. It was a crazy feeding frenzy. It'll be worse, today and for the next week. True traffic jam, get paid $25 for unload. Love it. Merry Christmas. That's right. From Fort Bliss. You did say it. It's not Christmas, but we'll take it. GP Trans. Oh, I need to get my poll up too. GP Transco changed their mind about hiring my wife and I because you have a speeding warning. Good. Red Monkey Trucking. I thought you were saying Celadon. Okay, GP Trans changed their mind because you have what is a speeding warning? How does a warning go on your record? I thought when you get a warning, they go, I'm just giving you a warning. Show half loading to go to sleeper. Been doing it for a year, no problem. Yeah, if you have a sleeper, right. Very selective. I don't understand what a warning is. 6 months experience in hazmat required. Back in the day when all the big unionized carriers were falling, drivers were kind of expected to bring customers to the new gig. How does a driver bring a customer? Waste Management is hiring. That is true. They always have freight and automatic trucks. A win all around. I love the Waste Management ad that goes on here in Lafayette, and I will say it's probably not a bad job. I don't know what it pays, but it says you may be exposed to sights and smells that are unpleasant. I love that. Unpleasant would be the best word they can use for it. The mega carriers are now doing investors like they do drivers, making promises. I don't know. See, that's the thing. USA Truck, right? Their stock's down, but Swift stock is up. Here's Martin. Okay, Martin, January 2nd was $16.37. Today, before the show, the stock was $20.86, all right? So they're up 25% this year, okay? So not every company's losing money. Owner-operators should have seen the warning signs of demise. Oh, everybody. Everybody should have seen it from this place, really. You push the brakes too hard. You're over 30. You're probably a racist. Yikes. Hiring in Texas area. Yeah, bro. It's not over there. More companies. Where'd I go here? And I lose my place a lot, right? It's not over. There's more companies to fold. ELDs, insurance, and it's sad when the industry is. Trump has not done anything. Got to vote for him, though. Okay, I mean, here's the thing. I like the ELD, and the ELD didn't change the hours of service, which came into effect long before he was president. So let's put it like that. But I mean, if we have to run beyond the hours that the hours of service give you, I think you need to find a different place to work. If you can't make money at 70 hours, I mean, holy mackerel, how many hours do you want to work? What's the biggest three reasons the trucking company Celadon went out of business? Well, it was all theirs. It all started in years ago when they didn't report correctly their numbers. They faked all their numbers for investors, and that was it. Once they had to restate all their earnings, it's just been downhill from there. They just could not get out of it. Drivers around Indy check out Heritage Transport. All right, big money, whatever big money is. No has 3 trucks that are ready to work. Lawrence, best BART starting pay at Sear England is 25 cents. Oh, that's lower than Western. Just fed a Celadon team driver, her owner, operators on I-70 rest area. They referred them to Smith. Those 2 girls are bawling. Yeah. Well, look, if they're owner-operators, at least they're going to get to keep their truck. Tell them to call if you still see them or whatever. I know you probably got their numbers. Tell them to call their leasing company, TEL, they are going to be able to put the truck on somewhere else. They're not going to have to turn in their truck if they're owner-operators. Amazon effect is disrupting the industry. Yeah, Celadon is not an Amazon. This is a problem that they made themselves, and everybody but the people at the top have to pay for it. USA Truck has been up and down a while, and it worked for them. They were losing money. Celadon tried to do a hostile takeover. I will say this, at these companies I looked, and their stocks really haven't been up for some time. And if it's down, look, it's down a third this year. Okay, well, no, it's down 2/3 from 2046 to 759 since February 5th. They've lost 2/3 of their value in 11 months. That's a problem. That's not like a buck or two. That is a huge problem. Where did I go here? Right. Mark, thanks for keeping the newbies updated. Carl, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Whatever I can do to help, I'm more than willing to help. Written warning are the worst than actual tickets because you can't fight them. So does that go on your record? The sad thing is I bet drivers are still considering Celadon. Yeah, there were people on the Celadon site. Oh, hey, anybody know anything about this place? You got to at least do a little bit of looking, right? Can't fight a warning and goes on your record. That wouldn't be any good. The speeding warning was put on a level 1. Okay, so there is a code. You can't even fight it. If I had known, I would have asked for a ticket. If it's CS, I know you can get the CSA points taken off. Steel Horse has been all about that. Might buy a Celadon truck, put a Super 10 in it. Yikes. It would make it even worse. Plus, they're internationals, most of them that I saw. So that'd be even worse. Although I guess they have some Pete's. Holy moly. Might as well put an international. Can't make it any worse than that. Yeah, Red Monkey, I don't know how you would fight that. Would it be worth talking to a lawyer to get it off your record? Maybe. For an hour, talk to them and see what they say. It's definitely not fair to my wife because I couldn't even challenge it. Prevented us. Look, if it's worth fighting it, it's worth it. It's worth to fight it. It'd be worth talking to a lawyer, at least paying $50 or $100 to talk to a lawyer for a minute and see if you can clear it up. If you're leaving Celadon, which company you decide to go to, make sure you get everything in writing. Yes. If a company doesn't answer, it's a red flag. Absolutely. There's so many companies jumping on this saying, we'll give you a bus to orientation or a ticket to orientation. What if you don't like the company when you get to orientation? How are you going to get home? Are they going to get you home? Ask them that. What if you decide not to go there? Will they send you back home? The officers give you a warning instead of a ticket so you can't fight the warning. Oh, nice. In court, it goes straight to your record. I love it. ELD with the truck driving at 5 miles an hour. Well, Rich, that's driving, right? Let's be honest about it. I was trying to follow the law here, sir. And if you're driving at 5 miles an hour, I think you're driving. I would put the ELD when you press the brakes in. It goes to driving. Are they changing the requirements to get a Hazmat endorsement for 2020? I don't know. What is really sad about this whole situation? There are a lot of good people at Celadon. They were good to me. Yeah, look, I'm sure there are. And there are always people at places that love it there. They get a run or that they like or get paid the way they want or whatever. Yeah, it's terrible. Not everybody there is bad. It only takes a few bad people at the place, as we see here, to ruin 3,000 people's lives. If a company's asking you to put in an application before they answer your questions, it's also a red flag. Yes. Get all your questions answered first. And if you're at Celadon, go home. Take a day to figure out what you're going to do. What do you want to do? Then go look for a job, ask all the questions, and then do it that way. That's 27 cents split. Make your team for the first 6 months. The critic. Holy mackerel. What do I think about Cisco? I always heard good things about Cisco. Harder work, but good pay. If anyone has questions for GP Transco, tag them in the ad thing. That way they can make sure not to miss the questions. Will's Logistics is where it's at, I'm sure. I did tell them they were, told them to take the truck to Ritchie. Really, what is Celadon? I did tell them, but they were told to take it to Ritchie. Well, look, TEL is saying, they came out and said, right, look, we're working with owner-operators here, the lease operators, and you can put the truck on somewhere else. If they'll let them out of the lease or whatever, maybe it's a better deal to get out of it. I don't know. You lose out with that, Mark. ELD needs to be on duty, not driving when a truck stops vendors. If you're in the sleeper, you can log sleeper berth time. Averaging 3,000 a week and clearing 1,500 a week. That's pretty good. Also online, bought my company last month. Should I be worried? Maybe. How's that place doing, right? Cisco is awesome and pays well, but from what we know, you would need to do quite a bit more work. Oh, yeah, right. It's work. There's no question about it. But some people like the work, keep them in shape or whatever. They don't have to buy a gym membership. So it keeps you moving around. I'm amazed, K-Dub Milkman, right? I'm amazed some of these drivers take such little pay. I've cleared 65 for the past 3 years and always been home every day. Now I'm off weekends, and you're 21, right? It is something, but I think part of it is that if you go somewhere and that's all you know, and so then the next year you get a raise of a few cents or whatever, and you think, oh, I'm really doing good because no one looks outside of where they work to see if there's anything better. What about the drug alcohol database? Can you do a video about that? Yes, that's coming up here next month. So I do need to get a video out about the new drug and alcohol database that we'll need to sign up for. Won't that be a great clearinghouse, as they call it? On the bright side, there's a student driver whose school debt be wiped out. Yeah, I don't know, though, because a debt would be an asset of the company. It's that they're owed. And so in bankruptcy court, I don't know if they would still enforce it or not. You're not the one going bankrupt. They are. That doesn't mean you still don't owe the money to the company as an asset. Interesting. Celadon is half and half Freightliner and International, and some of the new trucks that they bought were Peterbilt. I did see they had some Pete's in their pictures. My friend was working at Celadon in 2016. It started out great. He had getting a truck from them. Then they quit paying him. Nice. In 2016. And he called his lawyer, and the lawyer said, keep working and they'll road you. No. Right, that's another sign. A company stopped paying you. There's a good reason right there to get out. 26 years driving and going from the AOBRD to ELD is a change for the bad. But see, the law didn't change, right? So what is bad about the ELD? Let's ask that, Rich Chapman. Since you don't like the ELD, I'm always curious about this. What exactly is bad about it? It only enforces the law that's already in effect. So in Tennessee, if the warning is on an inspection, then it goes on your record. If the warning is separate, then the report will not. Cy is always hiring as well. Always firing too. Well, good. There's always an opening. I trained and got my CDL with Celadon. Worked for them for 8 months. Not the best, but what can you do? Are you out of there now? Or are you still there? You can't fight a warning. It's just a warning, but you still get CSA points, 12 to be exact. I love it. That shouldn't be, by the way, that shouldn't happen. Any kind of detriment to you, you should be able to fight. You can't do the brake thing for the ELD because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do your pre-trip brake test. All right. We'll give it to you for that. On duty would automatically put you in driving when you try to do the brake test. Okay. All right. So we'll give you a couple miles an hour. What is your position on Sierra England and their Menage a Trois program? 3 crammed in a truck. It's a health issue. It's a safety issue. And it's a crazy issue. That's the thing that that's probably one of the biggest things that I don't understand. Once you get there and they try to cram 3 in that little truck, I guess because people have no other choice that they're there, they're already there. You got to say, look, I'm not doing this. This is crazy. We've all seen that video. There's tons of videos online about it. People have done tours of these Sierra England trucks with 3 people in them. Number one, that shouldn't be allowed. But that's crazy to live in there like that. It's a health issue. It's a crazy. 2 in a truck is tight. 3 is crazy because they take half of the cabinets out. It should be illegal. Wilson Logistics, helping drivers work for Celadon get home by paying for their buses, at least. James Faust is going to head out and make some money. I appreciate you being here. And I've lost my little spot here as usual. Rich Chapman, where do I work? Yeah, well, I don't get that question ever, so that's good. For new people or people that are not on the show, which I do every Monday at 1 p.m., I don't ever say where I work. Isn't that great? That way they stay out of my videos, and I don't have to worry about what they have to say. Also, I don't recruit for them. Unlike every other single driver this weekend recruiting these Celadon drivers, I don't recruit for my company. I let them go recruit for themselves. So keeps them out of the videos. I don't recruit for them. Well, the truck had 650 in a check engine lights, so I think they're better off taking it to auction. Yes, they had 650 on there. Yeah, get rid of it. The thing is, they're almost done paying for it, I hope, at that kind of mileage. Rich, thanks for all I do. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you for being here. Making 50 in your first year as a solo Swift driver, there you go. You're doing better than that Celadon driver. What does Newsbomb say about this? I haven't heard them come out and say anything about it this weekend. It was just a few, maybe a dozen companies were really, really pushing hard in all these Celadon assistance groups and everything. Would you recommend the teams check out TSMT for company? Yeah, never owner-operator. I'm not big on owner-operator, but team at TSMT, And I've had a number of these teams write to me. TSMT for teams can be great because they have a minimum pay. And one of them only did like 800 miles one week, and still they each got their minimum pay. So of way more than $1,000. So for teams, yeah, you're going to need a hazmat over there. I'm making 65 at Solo for Smith, exactly. He kept working and kept working. They never paid him anything. He took the truck back and said all the money he was making went into the truck. He passed from a heart attack. That's terrible. The stress of it. As soon as you're not paid, we're done with a company, any company, right? They got to pay you on time. We know this sounds crazy, but a warning will stay on your record as the driver and on the record for your company as well, and can't be disputed. A ticket can be fought. I don't like it for either of you. That's not fair to either of you. A warning doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It's only, even the ticket, it's only the police officer's opinion of what happened. That you're not convicted of anything. It shouldn't go on your record at all. Neither should a ticket until you're convicted of it. School debt they will pass to your credit company. Yeah, I think that'll go to collections or something probably, unfortunately. I hate calling recruiters. They're either impatient or only answer the question I ask. I've even had recruiters tell me to just go on the website. Oh, Rumpelstiltskin, forget that. Tell them we're done. That's what their job is. Why would they just say to go to the website? Why do they have a recruiter? Trucking journeys. As soon as you press the brakes, it should go on driving. But if you're doing the full pre-trip, you pump the brakes down. All right. Okay. I'll go along with you on that. If you're doing a pre-trip, we don't have to put you on. I still want to know what is wrong with the ELD, really. Sounds crazy, but often it's better when a driver asks for a ticket instead of a warning and his or her company disputes it. In court, at least you could fight it. It isn't fair that you get points for something that you literally didn't do because you're innocent until proven guilty. You haven't been proven of anything. GP Transco going to have 100 new drivers. It's a recruiter fest. Yeah, I bet a lot of companies are getting a lot of calls. There's 3,000 and some drivers that need to go to work right now. I mean, driving the truck to the terminal, people were talking about insurance. I personally would drive it back. If it had fuel today, I think the cards are back off again. But if you've got enough fuel to get to Indianapolis, their main terminal, or wherever you park your car for Celadon, take the truck back to them. Take it back there. Unload your stuff into your car, head home, and, take the rest of the day off and figure out what to do tomorrow. What's your take on why these big fleets are going under? Big guys can't make it. How about the little guys? Well, I'm always concerned about a smaller place. But this place was their own demise. This was totally their own demise, their own doing of misstating numbers, mismanagement, basically felonies and stuff. Forget that. Wyland, hello. What's going on, Red Monkey? If I'd have known, I would have fought it. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't think anything about it. I needed doubles and Hazmat endorsement at AAA. I'll actually put that out there, too, that people should ask for a ticket. Ask for a ticket. In my 9 months at Smith, you're over 50. Yeah, you're doing great over there. Part of that was at the Walmart account, right? If I have my doubles, it's a good idea to have it at AAA. I think you should always get all your endorsements because here we go. Celadon is a perfect example of why you should get your endorsements and keep them on your license. Oh, well, I don't use them where I work. Okay, guess what? Monday, you may not be working there, and there may be an opportunity for you, and they go, well, you need a hazmat. Well, that takes a little bit of time to get, and right now there's a lot of other drivers looking for jobs. You could put yourself ahead of everybody by having all of your endorsements and keeping them on your license all the time. Get them, keep them. Will Celadon be back in business, or you think they're going to sell the trucks? No, they're done. I mean, who would ever do anything with them now after all of this disaster? I got to believe they're done. Now, one of them might open up under another name or something, but I think the Celadon brand is finished. That's what I think. Put the roller reader down and drive. Yeah, exactly. What we need is a 5-bunk truck. Believe me, if they thought they could stick them in there, they could. Red Monkey Trucking, I know it's not cool. Yeah, I don't understand. That's such a minor thing. That'd be worth talking to a lawyer about. I have a deferred felony. It states not guilty stuff to tell companies about it, as sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't. Well, so it may be up there, maybe not. Yikes. So at some point, will it be off your record because they're deferring it, to a certain date? Glad I get 40 days off PTO at $380 a day. That's pretty good. Most of the big company recruiters don't care for drivers that question. That's true. They don't want you asking questions because they'll be like, oh, this person knows stuff. They're going to be asking questions. We can't have him work here or her. We can't have that kind of person work here. Yikes. Here's my opinion about money. If I'm not averaging $1,000 a week, I'm looking for new work. I'm on track to make $65, $70, and your first year at Smith with better knowledge. Look, you get $1,000 a week. I think it should be $2,000, but $1,000 a week should be everybody's minimum on the road, certainly. Crete Carrier gives Celadon drivers a rental car to a terminal. Yeah, I know, to a terminal, but it's to a Crete terminal. Is that correct? Isn't that what Crete was saying? We'll give you a car to come to us, not to get to your house. If I was a Celadon driver, I'd check out Schuster. That low turnover rate says a lot. That is something right there. I'm curious about that Crete thing, too. I did see something about that. I drove my first 14 months for Celadon and left in July, just in time. Found a small company that gets you home every weekend. So glad you got out. Yeah, you could be sitting right now somewhere at a rest area not knowing what you're going to do tomorrow. I took about 3 months to get all three. Hazmat requires a background check. Right. So, but the thing is, if you have them, when you need those endorsements, you're going to wish that you had them. Goes off your record when you complete it. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Right. I always have a couple truck pictures here. Who remembers this company? All right. Check that out. That picture's from 1990. Love it. Remember, that is when they had to change their name. Remember, because the second L, they were KLM Trucking, and then KLM Airlines got mad at them and told them they had to change their name. I think they did a little bit of court battling, but KLM lost and had to change their name over. Those were pretty common trucks back then too, really. KLLM had to change their name. A fun fact with that nobody knows, the full air tank shut your truck off, step on the brakes, release the parking brake, and hold the foot brake, and make sure your brakes are in adjustment with ABS cycles. Wow. That's I agree. I'm not saying quitting, just the opposite. You're very happy where you are. Good. Although this Pete at less than 20,000 miles has broken down on me twice. Now there's an air leak in the transmission. Yikes. They need to get that thing fixed. Holy moly. When you turn the key on and don't start the truck. Okay, so it's some kind of cycling from starting. Does that work on all brands of trucks or just that truck? So I have recruiters here. Okay, what? Oh, for the 401k. That's what I wanted to talk about to Celadon drivers too. You may be tempted to take money out of your 401k. Okay, don't do that if you don't have to. Roll it over to a new company that you go to rather than taking a disbursement. Oh, how about that, right? From your 401k, because you pay penalties if you take that money out. Now, if you're going to lose your house or whatever, then get the money and worry about the penalty later. But otherwise, don't take the 401k money out of your 401k because you pay a penalty on it. Okay, so also there were a bunch of GoFundMe's I see have started like immediately. Be very wary about GoFundMe's where a driver says, oh, I worked here and now I'm going to lose my house, so give me money. A lot of these may be true. They may not be true. You don't know, who you're giving the money to, and the people are out there scamming pretty quickly. I'd rather you put the money here at least to the Truckers Fund at the St. Christopher Fund. And if you wrote to me and told me how much it was, that'd be great. If not, that's okay. Whatever you want to do. I'd like to get to $500 this month. But just be very wary of GoFundMe's that are set up and say, hey, drivers, I just need some money. Plus, the same as a driver. I've heard people this over the weekend walking up, hey, I'm working for Celadon. Can you give me some money? There's tons of scammers out there like that. Be careful about that. If somebody needs something, go get it for them. That'll tell you right there, oh, no, I don't want that. I'll give me cash. Right then it's a problem. There's always people scamming. Always. U.S. Express told you 38 cents, 2 years experience. Wow. Tom Bailey, that is horrible. Just so you know. And that's why their stock is garbage, right? And they have to have, they put this out there too. And that was really loud, right? They put this out there too, that they're giving a big bonus or whatever. Look, but their stock is down. They're from 1662 to 508 in about 18 months. That's crazy. Thank you for saying 2,000 a week, Rich Chapman. That's what we should be shooting for. 1,200 a week is low. I agree. It should be 2,000. I don't really see that in the industry, but to be gone from your house, sometimes for weeks at a time. I've been gone for a month at a time at some points, and I think that's well worth 2,000, which I never got certainly, but I think it should be 100 grand starting, and then you move up from there. You're losing your whole life. You give your whole, literally, people that stay on the road for their whole lives have given their entire life up to move around toilet paper. That should be worth at least something. We can't wipe that slate clean of just thinking about that, okay? It should be worth something. It's nice that you were one of the first ones to tell us about this. It's so much different than the old rumor mill. That is true. But, I actually heard about this, Stone. I heard about this on Friday night. And I thought, but there wasn't enough information. By the time I got home Saturday morning, I saw an article that was written overnight. I thought, we're in it now. Celadon is finished after closing all their places up. And I took a lot of heat for that, and it turns out I was right on it. So, yeah, Celadon closed. For people that are just joining in, if you haven't seen the news over the weekend, they're closed, bankrupt, and closed. Lou, guys, stay away from mega companies. Look at the small ones. They treat you better than most of the time. Maybe. I mean, there's not a lot of these large companies that don't treat people well. I don't know about that. Like, I work for a pretty large place. I think I'm treated, at least partially okay. We are just a number here, but I don't mind that. I don't need people to know my name. My company said we could take the van and pick up to any Celadon driver that would get in the van when we offer them candy. Is it a white, a windowless van? And believe me, some of them might do it. Don't need double and triples for dedicated accounts in AAA, but you will if you want to do line haul. You should have them all anyway. I think it could help you some point in the future. When your company closes or for whatever reason, you might need that endorsement. Go get it. Go out there and get those endorsements. In Indiana, once you get the endorsement, other than Hazmat, they don't charge you anything for them, okay, on your license renewal. And I got them in Illinois because that's where I originally started driving. They were $5. But that was, when we had to dodge, we had also a D endorsement to dodge dinosaurs. So I don't know if they're a little bit more now. Well worth it. Well worth it. I'm going up I-24 and just passed 15 Celadon trucks. Are they all headed this way? They don't have too many terminals, so all brands have been that way since ABS has come out. Okay, we have a winner. Exactly. Roll your 401k. Always roll it to the new company if you can. Look, if you're gonna lose your house, kind of like Dave Ramsey said, which I agree with on this, right? If you're gonna lose your house, then pull it out so you don't go living in a box somewhere or something like that. But otherwise, roll the money to the next company. If they have a 401k, they'll explain. They understand how to roll the money so you don't touch it and you don't pay anything. You don't pay any kind of penalty. Don't pay a penalty unless it's dire straits, right? Don't pay a penalty unless it's money for nothing. That's all I'm saying. One thing I love about working for an employee-owned company is on top of a company-matched 401k, you have an ESOP plan, which pays dividends. How could your company is doing? All right, that's good. Employee stock option purchase, right? What do you call JB Hunt driver with a reefer? Prime driver, nice. Like this KLLM truck, right? It's like 2 retirement accounts. All right. Will you be there to retirement, do you think? And you probably may change your mind later. I'm just curious because you're some time from retirement. Red Monkey Trucking, Teddy's Truckers Association is a good one. Look, I'm on that. I was the 300th person to join that over the weekend, and I'm also on the Life 360. Was looking for Celadon drivers over the weekend, but it turns out they turned their fuel cards back on. As we had the Escape all fueled up, I was going to go grab some drivers and take them back, but they turned their cards back on. So all Celadon drivers at this point should be able to get home. They should be. The cards went back on. We were begging people to go fill up their trucks. Usually about once a month, I'll have a paycheck in the $1,800 to $1,900 range. Wow. The rest of the month is $1,200 to $1,600. That's rolling in some cash, I'll tell you what. Must be some nice cars in the parking lot out there. Does anyone know anything about Raven? Let's see if there's some Raven drivers out here. Sea Hill, hello, Mark, and drivers from Georgia. You're here late. Yikes, demerits are handed out for late people. Thank the drivers that are banding together to help the Celadon people. Yes, there are tons of people out there waiting to help you. Celadon, if you have any questions today or whatever, let's get them out here and get them answered, see what we can do for you. Ask the drivers if they need food or money and give them cash or buy them lunch. I would rather buy them lunch, really. GoFundMe equals panhandling. Well, sometimes, I agree, Samuel, it does sometimes, but sometimes you need to stick out your hand and take a few bucks. You might need it, That's why I'm asking people to donate to the St. Christopher Fund. You know, there are times when you need and times when you can give. So if you can give it. If you need it, go to the St. Christopher Fund and apply to get some help. Either way. I've lived under a bridge years ago for a while, so I understand both sides of it. I'm not living a trucking journeys $1,900 a week lifestyle, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about? All right, money. If you're joining the chat now or receiving 1,200 demerits, you must buy 5 roller wieners for Mark. That would be pretty awesome, right? I will get you an address to have those sent over here. Good afternoon, Ralph. It's good to see you. I won't be home until April, Rumpelstiltskin, so I feel you. Now, why won't you be home until April? Let me ask you. Do you have your time set off until April? I mean, this is only like December-ish. Trucking journeys. Hopefully you'll just work a 5-day for that money. What's up, world? What's up, Divas? Chance? Yeah, I don't know how many of those are here. Yikes. I don't know about that. Right. So let's see here. If I can do this here, I can. All right. That's how we do that. Awesome. Dinu, I take my CDL driving exam and I'm crazy anxious. Yeah, don't sweat it, right? It's not super complicated. Let's put it that way. It's hard to do, but it's not complicated. And at least the weather, at least here, is great. You got it made. Look at everybody out here is driving. Look at me. I can drive, and holy mackerel. Rich Trucking Answers, the best trucking YouTuber. Well, I appreciate that. You'll pass this test, no problem, right? And you'll be out here driving with the rest of us. Hopefully you are not, you haven't applied at Celadon. Dave Ramsey doesn't have a credit card, but he has millions. That's true. But I do agree with the 401k. I don't have a credit card either. I don't have any millions of dollars. But I do agree with this 401k rollover. Some people may be tempted to say, oh, well, I have $10,000 in my 401k. I can take that money. You're going to have to pay a penalty on that money unless you're 59 and a half, right? Isn't that the story or whatever? So don't use your 401k if you're from Celadon if you don't have to. Now, don't go live in a box and eat Alpo. Get the 401k money. But if you don't have to use it, do it different. My last check gross, Smith, was only $20.50. Oh, $2,000. That would be a really low check, right? I think that's Western. In all honesty, we have some amazing drivers working here who drove from Celadon previously. Yeah, exactly. Anybody looking for a new job, checking the custom companies in North Lake? They have various driving accounts. Oh, I was immediately Illinois. I thought 1099, right? Is that a legitimate company? It's terrible that there's so many there that they poison the whole area in my mind for that. In all honesty, right now, I'm probably planning on retiring here, right, unless something happens, because I get the money I want and treated the way I want. All right. We just never know what happens, but right. Raven used to be Silver Eagle. Wow. Silver Eagle Trucking. That sounds like a great job. $1,900 a week. That's Grey Poupon. That's what I'm saying. I'm on store brand Meyer mustard here. What's happening? He's going to have problems, but I've found a good home here, and they take care of me and says a lot for the people you work for. Laugh. I love it. Love the channel. Thank you very much. Alexandra, it's good to see you. I'm stuck in Memphis. Someone save you. What's the problem down there? Holy moly. You're kind of far from me. What's the problem? What percentage of drivers do you say stay out over a month? I think it's very low. And if they do, it's only by choice. Well, I'll say this as Motivation Monday. Anything you do is by choice. If you stay out a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, or home every day, it's always a choice, right? Let's be honest about that. You choose what you get. You get what you'll accept, and you choose what you're getting. So drivers that stay out like to April, I'm just curious why we're staying out till April. Maybe you want to stay out till April. As a single person, maybe you want to stay out forever. That's okay with me either way. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's just a choice that everybody makes. Unfortunately, due to the Celadon shutdown, the roller wiener manufacturing complex needs to lay off roller wieners and packers. Holy moly. Maybe they could hire some of the former Celadon drivers there and at least get them some work until they can get themselves back up on the road. I'm an over the road. You stay out a month at a time. Yeah, if you want to, right. I can give a Celadon driver a ride in Atlanta area the next 2 days up to $250. I have a pickup, and there's an email, all right, to get a Celadon driver a ride. If they're stuck, they shouldn't be stuck. Here's the thing. If you're smart about it at Celadon, the cards went back on for about 24 hours. Okay, bingo. You got to be in there and fill that truck up. Then we can get the truck back. Hopefully, most of the drivers should be able to get back. For anyone in North Dakota, says Nathan, be careful. Just pulled over for a snack on Highway 2 is icing over between Williston and Minot. Yikes. That's not going to happen here. 51 degrees. Be careful in the Dakotas. Stave man, yeah, do our people. I've been through stuff, times with grown kids. Let's help the truckers out. Absolutely. Look, there's times when you got money to give and times when you need to get some money from somebody. No problem. You lose 40% or something if you cash out your 401k. It's some kind of huge amount, right? It's a lot of money. Not worth it unless you're going to lose your house. Then you're like, well, and you don't have any ready money. You need some money right away, or you're going to lose your car or something. You can't have no way to get to work. Then, okay, take it. But otherwise, if you can, right, that should be your last resort. That's not like a savings account for you. That's your last resort. And Celadon drivers, which I said earlier, and I try to encourage people, always have $300, everybody, to get yourself home in case your company closes. People, this is a large company and it closed. It's the largest bankruptcy and it's a huge company. And they closed. Usually stay out 2 to 4 months. Wow, Rumpelstiltskin. My company, it's cool with it. Yeah, sure, it'd be all right with me. It's the best way to pad the pockets. I agree. Look, if I was a company and you want to stay out, that's okay with me too. However you want to do it. Wow, that's just a long time. James is from the Bay Ridge in Brooklyn. What's happening in Brooklyn? Any Celadon truck stuck over there? I hope not, because it'd be stuck eating that pizza that you guys call over there. Holy mackerel. They go over there. My choice, I stay out a month or more, but a lot of times I have since I started. Yeah, if you want to. Columbia, George. Silver Eagle was an LTL company in Portland that shut down. Oh, okay. Alexander, I stay out 2 months at a time, and I heard sirens and such early this morning. Sounded like an ambulance. Well, yeah, Memphis, right? Anywhere within like 40 miles of West Memphis, I assume that you're going to hear sirens and police cars and everything. Absolutely. Keep your doors locked, please. Holy mackerel. And zigzag. If you have to walk inside, the zigzag pattern. The bigger the sleeper on the truck, the longer they stay out. They need to pay that sleeper, but maybe they want to stay out. And if a husband and wife stays out, then they're still together. That's okay too. If you're stuck in Memphis, just glad it's not West Memphis. Anywhere close to West Memphis is bad enough, right? Silver Eagle out of Jacksonville got bought up by Heartland. That's not great. They opened back as Raven. Yikes. Which is in Jacksonville, Florida. I love it. Hey, Mark, do you have any info on Dean Foods filing bankruptcy? Yeah, they said they were going to file bankruptcy, which they did. Kevin, they filed bankruptcy. But unlike this bankruptcy, Dean Foods just went about it just like the normal way a company does it, which is just file bankruptcy and say, all right, we're going to file bankruptcy and we're just going to reorganize and continue our operation. And as far as I've seen, there's no change in the way they're doing business, their operation. Nothing like that is changing. So it shouldn't really affect anybody because they didn't really close down. Michael is working over Christmas. Wife wants to do shopping in the sales. So after this home time, I don't go home until 2020. That's a long time, but hey, it's okay with me. If the cards run for 24 hours, I'd have just taken the law violation, start driving. Fill up before I left, and I have filled up 10 hours down the road. Yeah, we told people that too over the weekend. Just start heading back. But there are tons of people were saying, no, that's just chapter 11. But, in the same breath, they're saying, I went to get a trailer and the places won't load me. You're done. Once you can't get loaded, no communication from the company, that's it. It's time to head back to the terminal that your car's parked in and be done with it. Fill up the truck as long as the card's open. Get any money off of it that you had, please, and be done with it, because they're finished. Right, it's just gone completely outlaw. West Memphis does have a casino and a Pancho's restaurant, but you can't get to it because of all the shooting. There's no penalty if you use your 401k money to purchase health insurance. I did that when my previous employer laid me off. Oh, so they have a carve out for health insurance? Alexander's really in West Memphis. Oh my gosh, right. Just get out of there as fast as possible. Rich Chapman is out of here today. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. Everybody knows in West Memphis, you need to zigzag back and forth if you plan on doing anything. You just saw 2 Celadon trucks loading in Cincinnati. They probably weren't loading. They might have been unloading. From what I heard, a lot of customers are requesting the trailers back in the docks to get their freight off of it if they still have trailers. So, because they did announce that they're done. Does anybody have a recommendation for a 3-month driver who's had issues? I warned him against Trans Am, and he realized too late that I was right. Yeah, he's in Texas. Well, I don't know what the issues might be, so you can always write to me if you don't want to post those here. We could talk about it, but yeah, any of these places at this point, you only got a few months to go to get your year in, right? So we need to know where he lives and home time, that kind of stuff. I'm from the east side of West Memphis. You're on the east of West? Well, rip to Alexandria won't survive the night. That's what I'm saying. You need to leave immediately. Even if you're in a Celadon truck, just get out of there and just run, zigzag run, and cross the bridge past the pyramid and get into town. If you cash out a 401k, 20% penalty off the top, plus your tax, so you lose 40%, says the president, George H.W. Bush. I would think that the president of the United States would know the tax laws better than that. That's what I'm saying. Stay out if you're loving is not, yeah. If you're lover or loving, either way. Christina, sounds like a whole big mess with all these trucking companies going under. I'm sorry for all these having issues. I hope these drivers get the money owed to them. Me too. I would say they filed bankruptcy. I don't know if they're going to get paid on Friday. I'm just concerned. If you're a Celadon driver, I'm very nervous that you are not going to get paid on the next payday on Friday. Just be ready, I would say this, to not get paid. Here's the other thing about this. Nobody talks about something like this, like Uber. Okay, I've been signed up as an Uber driver for probably 4.5 years now. There's no minimum that you have to drive. So if you were already signed up with Uber right now, literally on your way home, if you're in your home state, you could turn it on and start making some money to get that paycheck back that you're going to probably miss on Friday. Sign up if your car qualifies. In Indiana, it's 15 years old. It depends on the state. 4-door, no bumper stickers, in good condition, radio, heat, air works. Sign up for Uber, and you can start making money immediately. Well, you've tried to figure out what you're going to do with yourself. You can go do it right now, and it takes a few days to sign up. So if you need to sell it on drivers, sign up immediately, right? It'll take a few days. If you're already on it, or everybody else, go sign up as a driver. And I don't hardly ever do it. Once in a while, there's a $25 an hour guarantee here for Purdue games, which I'd go as far away as possible and sit in my car and collect $25 an hour at night until like 4 in the morning, because I get home late, and I do it until 4, and I hardly ever take any passengers. Otherwise, but I could, if a company closed, bingo, I could turn that on immediately and start making money. That's another way to make money right away. Alexandra does not plan on dying. Just remember, zig, then zag. James has roller wieners here, but we know thick pizza, you need a knife and fork to eat. Exactly, right. And roller wieners are a nationwide thing, though. If the pizza, if it's not 4 inches thick, it's not a pizza. I've been out since June 20th. Next scheduled sometime is next June. You've been out since June 20th. Wow. So you basically live in the truck. I already bought my wife her Christmas and birthday present for the next 4 years. Good. That's good. When you stay out a month or more, you don't have a home. You have a place to keep your stuff. Yeah, basically, you just need a storage facility at that point. We noticed someone writing that GP is a 1099 company, GP Transco, on the Truckers Report. We commented that they're a normal W-2 company. And Truckers Report blocked us for a recruiting attempt? That's brilliant. Somebody there should go in as themselves and redo that, or write to them. That's crazy. GP Transco is a regular company. You're hired as an employee, even though they're in the Chicagoland area, right? It is a normal place where you don't have to do this 1099 stuff. Why would people say that? Because there's no truth to it at all. It's not like you have some 1099 people other than owner-operators. Blocked you. Same shipper you just loaded at. I love my company, LTL Trucking Services, best miles in the Midwest. Right. And LTL, how often are you home with that? West Memphis is so bad it has a Werner terminal. Wow. What is your opinion on Averett? I will say Cash is King Trucking has a great video about Averett, worked there, and has all the info on that. Let's see what he thinks about that, because he used to work there. Alexandria could have a Swift terminal. Isn't there? There is a Swift terminal in Memphis somewhere. I've seen it off the road there. But the pyramids equal safety. When you drive by that pyramid, you have to wear one on your head as well. Rumpelstiltskin, FedEx is a nightmare in West Memphis. One place to drop, another place to get paperwork, and a third to get a loaded trailer. Ridiculous. You'd think they'd be more efficient than that. Tie your door shut. Yeah, with like a bungee cord from the inside, which I do like doing. The barbecue trucker, no one worried. Joe uses Swift to transport his roller wieners, so there will be no shortage due to the Celadon bankruptcy. From what I understand, Joe is very good about making sure that there's no disruption in the roller wiener supply chain. West Memphis has a pilot. That's how bad it is. Are there any good pilots anymore? Yikes. Nathan, 51 degrees sounds nice. When I woke up, it was -9. It's up to the teens now in Minot. Yeah, we're going to be in the 50s. It's going to be 30s tomorrow. Not too bad. Michael Cole, can they Uber in their truck? No. That's something. You can Uber in a pickup truck. I will say that. Has to have 4 full doors. 4 full-size doors, and can't be lifted or modified like that. Okay, so you can't do the super swampers or whatever. The Celadon owner-operators are hosed. They won't get paid, but still get charged for fuel and insurance. I don't know what's going to happen with them. TEL, I guess if you're an owner-operator, you are hosed. You're going to have to file a claim with the court. The lease operators, this is some of the best outcomes I've seen for Celadon lease operators, in that TEL is going to let people put the truck on somewhere else, which is really, really something. I don't know how long you have to do that. If you're a lease operator for Celadon, please call them immediately. Let them know the situation, that you want to put the truck on somewhere else. See what they'll do for you. If you're in West Memphis, be sure to go to the dog track. They still have a dog track? Who has dog tracks? Can you use the Chevy Spark for Uber? Mad Hatter, I have a Chevy Sonic that I do use for Uber. Yes. So the Sonic, which is the Spark's big brother, I think you can use a Spark, as a matter of fact. I don't see why not. It only needs a 4-door car. That's what it says. They don't have like a size limit. Someone told me to roll over your 401k. I took that bet on the craps table. Did it? How did that work? Oh, is that where you got that new truck you got? Stabman, can you do something on best brokers, best pay? That would be one for Cash is King Trucking for sure. That'd be a great video for him to do. I don't really do much with owner-operators. I'm not a huge fan of even being an owner-operator from a personal side of it, and I've never done it. So I'm probably not the one to do a broker video, certainly. Let's get Cassius King Trucking on that for his next video. The Truckers Report banned you a while ago for getting into an argument with an admin over the pay scale. I posted proof and they banned you. What is it? What kind of deal is that? What about K&B? You know, I like the guarantee of $12.50. They have a history up to the current day of micromanaging people's lives. That's what I don't like about the place. I just can't take the micromanaging. And there's tons of videos, not just me. The one, Run Hard, Get Paid, has the most popular video about it. That is a few years old. They just bother you and bother you and bother you. And they say they don't do it, but then another driver posts a video. Another driver posts a video. He recorded them saying he should drive when he's tired. I'm just not a fan of the place because of that. And it's too bad because they have a great guarantee and stuff like that. If they would just back off a little bit on the micromanaging side, I'd probably be in on the place. James, home time anytime I want. LTI is a great home time. Oh, LTI. Okay, good. And if they'll work with you on home time, let you stay out, let you come home, that's really good. Then that's what companies should do, so that they can get people that want to just be out on the home weekends, and they also have people that want to be home every 4 weeks. That's the way to do it. Ryan, what's my opinion on Prime? I don't like the Prime program of trying to push people to leasing constantly for like $1,200 a week, which is crazy. There's trainers and students have to team together after so many miles. You're teaming. I don't like that, right? I think that shows the company doesn't really care about training people when they make you team as a trainee. Chad, is K&B calls you run far away from the love of every adult. Yeah, I don't just don't like it. Chad, Michael works at K&B and I like him. I just don't like the micromanaging part of it. Maybe they don't do it to everybody, but there's enough videos and people complaining about it where there's something to it. And they say, well, anybody can complain. Well, that's true. But you know what? People don't complain about that at other companies. It's just that one that's got 20 times the complaints of it that other places have. With Celadon going out of business, should be a lot of trucks and trailers for sale. I think so, Jim Trucker, and it should also help the rates. 3,000 trucks that they had, 2,800 trucks or whatever, depends who you looked at. They have to haul a lot of freight around. That should help rates some, right? It's a huge place. I think me and the Truckers Coach get the best and quickest information of anyone on YouTube. It's such a service, Donald Sloan. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm a subscriber to Coach. I like him. Michael Cole, yikes. Took me 4 hours to get out of Chicago FedEx. They park trailers everywhere, and had to flag down about 10 yard dogs to move a trailer. That's crazy. Well, they're not thinking of you, though. They think, oh, well, anybody can get around these 26-foot trailers, right? Josh, what year is the Sonic? It's a 13 Sonic LTZ, right? And I keep it's got heated seats, amazingly, right? Small car, but I keep that other seat heated if I ever take passengers. And I'm like, hey, sit down, the seat's heated. They're always amazed at it. K&B good as if you're coming from where, right? I talked to a few K&B drivers who said they're happy, not sure why. A guarantee is all they offer, and micromanagement. Rumpelstiltskin. The 1250 is not a bad guarantee. I got to say, it's over 60 grand a year if you stay out, guaranteed. So as long as they pay it, if you can take the micromanagement, and maybe they don't do it as much to some people, I don't know. Alexandra, I'm going home December 30th through January 6th. All right, you missed your kitties. Good. I cannot imagine, being gone any kind of long period of time, without seeing the cats. I remember being gone years ago. We didn't have these cats. These are new cats. And there's Gracie right there. But, these are new cats. And I don't know, just as an aside, I came home and the cat really didn't recognize me. So, the one cat, Simba, he was kind of scared of me for a while. And I thought, man, this being gone, this gotta end. I mean, the cats don't even know who I am. I've been gone so long. And so that was about the end of that. So I agree. Send some pictures of your cats over. Mike Muller, FedEx in Bedford Park. From a bad company, the night crew, do they bother being investigated? I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. I work for LTI. Oh, we got some LTI people on here. Alexandra. So, okay, I didn't realize that. So, yeah, LTI, yes. Trucker Brown said Prime is the best starter company. I don't agree because of the team training. Trucker Brown might think it's okay to not really train people, but I don't. I think if you're teaming when you're training, you're not training anybody. Why couldn't I do that for my house then? If the trainer's sleeping, would anybody tolerate that at school? Your kid's there to learn. The teacher pulls out a cot, hands your kid something and says, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to go to sleep. You'd have the teacher fired in 2 seconds. All right, it should be the same thing here. Matt Hatter said thought the Spark and Sonic were the same car. No, the Spark is much tinier. It's a city car, really, and it's made overseas. The Sonic is the smallest car made in the United States at a union plant, which I'm proud of. Both of my cars are always union plant-made cars in the United States, and it's made right here, made in outside Detroit, and it's considered a subcompact. But I have the LTZ, so you get heated seats and all that nice stuff on it, remote start. They don't want my 2010 Cobalt 2 doors. Right, they won't take a 2-door. 108 horsepower to 14-inch rims. The only reason they don't want it because it's a 2-door. You're still within the, 2010? Yeah, you're still within the thing, so no problem. That's because, sorry, I'm late. Saw 2 Celadon trucks and trailers north on 85 in North Carolina. I hope they're going to get, from there, I hope they have enough fuel to get back. Because the way I understand it, the fuel cards are off again today. Here's the thing that I've heard complained about at K&B is that they find an excuse to remove your guarantee. That's at a lot of places, and if that's happening, then that's garbage too. So if there's some, we need to know upfront in advance in writing exactly what it takes at any place really that has a guarantee to get the guarantee. I want to know exactly what it is so that I can do the things necessary to get the guarantee. The military is always hiring drivers if you're under 30 in good physical condition. That's true. 3 hots that got, I guess if young people could go in the military. J.J. Godfrey's headed out of Florida with a Celadon driver. Now, why didn't this driver, is he stuck somewhere? Could he not get fuel for his truck? I'm just curious because I did see that the cards are back on. Matt Hatter, don't forget the smart trucking guy. Oh, Dave, right. I love that guy too. Trucking Journeys, George Wilson. How many truck drivers you know that are actually good condition? Well, I can walk down the street some. You also have disgruntled people. That's true, you do, but it just seemed like there were way more of them there and all focused on one topic at K&B. K&B only micromanage if you screw up in doing it your own. One guy was complaining he was managed when he was constantly late for delivery. Look, if you're late, that's one thing. There's tons of drivers that are out there saying, look, I'm in the dock. They called me. Why am I not moving? They're calling you all the time. That's not great. That just isn't great. I can do the job. Just leave me alone. Give me the load. And the thing is, they were calling you. Say you had a 5 p.m. delivery and you're you're going to be there at 2, so you stop and get something to eat, and they're getting called saying, hey, get over there. I'll be on time, all right? If you want it at a certain time, you got to tell me that time. For me, it probably wouldn't work out for me. LTI is $10.99. Is that true, Alexander? You love your job. They treat you right here. That's good. Okay, Alexander, LTI isn't $10.99, only owner-uppers. I don't know where people think that. A lot of places. There are a lot of them. But if you're an employee there and they treat you right, I mean, that's part of the whole goal of everything. The money is great somewhere. I'd rather make less money somewhere else and get treated better than, I make a ton of money here and then you're hosed every day. You don't want to come to work. If you're an employee there and they treat you good, I think that's great. Although the problem is if you don't get out of West Memphis in like the next 25 minutes, I mean, holy moly. People are going to start stripping your truck of its tires. Sam, I am. I've been driving for them for 14 months, Alexander, and they're a legit W-2 company. And that's the other thing. About Celadon. People said, I'll sell the fuel. I'll sell the tires to get my money. You can't do that. And I'm sure owner-operators, some of them would come and buy your fuel at $1 a gallon or whatever. Do not do that. Don't sell the fuel. You can't sell the tires. It's not your truck. We can't be stealing. That's straight up stealing. You can't do it. Moises, shout out over the road. All right. Rumpelstiltskin. I was in the center lane doing 65 in a 65 and got honked out of my, sure. Sorry, not moving because you want to speed. Oh, of course. Somebody else you're in their way. Absolutely. It's ridiculous, right? They probably were following behind you for, 2 feet behind you for a while too. Moises, shout out. Yeah. What's happening? Sad to see even myself, I can barely pass a DOT physical. You got to at least keep up. Look, I got a 2-year physical in the summer. So last summer, June, just this summer in June. So still feeling good about that. AT Transport is hiring, reference, right, 20-year can't, let me get the vulture out there. Where did he go? Right, that was the whole weekend of people, hey, use my name. Here I am. Companies everywhere. I do think Celadon drivers should take a day off and think about exactly what do they want out of life. How often do you want to be home? What companies are around me? Where should I go? And call tens of thousands of companies. Just take a whole day and call everybody and see what's out there available to you. Shout out to all drivers doing Reese across America. All right. Yeah, that's going on right now too. Keep right except to pass. Okay. I've been here 6 months. Only time I don't get GTE, right? The only one time I was late and they took it from me, got 3,000 miles that week. Didn't matter. Join the show. Well, look, Mike, I'll take that. I'll take it. Wendell says fuel cards are working. All right. So every Celadon driver, if the fuel cards are working right now, you should be filling up your truck immediately and driving it back to a terminal. Unless they've told you specifically to take it somewhere else on the Qualcomm. I've heard some drivers saying that where, they told me to take it here or there. Then you got to take it there. K&B is notorious for running their drivers. No wonder some of them are late. Lots of it stems from not giving drivers enough time to get to their appointments. I've seen that too. There are those complaints where every load I get is late and then they're on me. Get going. I mean, come on. That's part of it is their management problem. I agree. Sam, I am. Love the videos. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. No fuel cards, and he leaves 60 miles from me. Got him and stuff headed back to South Carolina. Well, thank you for that. And the driver hopefully thanks you as well. I wish him well. How do you feel about Amazon? You typically buy union products, but Amazon is very anti-union. They are, right. I'm saying I buy union-made cars, okay, because you can't hardly get any other union-made products. But I think it matters if you can get it. We order from Amazon, though. I've even heard that why Jeff Bezos got divorced because he realized it was a union. He was a union of holy matrimony. He goes, I don't even want that union. I can't even take that union. I won't even tolerate it. Refugio, right. Rip Celadon, yeah. 35 years, largest bankruptcy in trucking history. Any Celadon drivers on here have any questions? What we can do for you here? Some things you need to do. Right, you can't put a lien on the truck. People have been saying that. You cannot do that. Rumpelstiltskin, I work for K&B. I was 1 hour from delivery and had 4 hours to spare. Pull off to do laundry and got a call with dispatch. Quit a week later. I know. I'm on time. Leave me alone. I will get there. But they're like, get going. That's a common complaint. Myron, A&D Transport will pick up Celadon drivers. They are hiring. Will they take them home? Okay, so the trucks, okay. That's another company, then I'll give you a ride. West Memphis was the only city I was ever panhandled for money. Get the pumps many times. I get out of there and look around and I wonder who's going to bother me. West Memphis. You're always, you got to look around, always be safe at the pumps. You never know who's coming around the corner of the pump. Why do the truck stops tolerate it is my question. I've had that occasionally. There'll be somebody at the door or whatever. And you go, what are you doing with this person out here? K. Wayne, Rip Bigberg. Yeah, look, as an aside from the Sesame Street crowd, the guy that did Big Bird, he did something else too, didn't he? But the guy that did Big Bird died. I don't remember his name, unfortunately. He died over the weekend too. That was overshadowed by the Celadon news. But that's sad too. I grew up watching Sesame Street. You've been at DART. Boy, Moises has been with DART for 5 years. You live in Texas and they're losing freight in the Midwest because they don't have enough drivers to cover it. One thing I love about DART is they load you up. They advertise around here, at least in Indianapolis area for drivers. So sad to get unemployed, especially this time of year with the holidays around the corner. That's true. That happened to you last year. You find a good company that treats you good. The only good thing that's going to happen to the Celadon drivers is a lot of them will get a raise. DART leaves you alone. That's what I want, okay? Once you hire an experienced driver, you shouldn't have to be on them. If you give me a time that I need to be somewhere, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. Unless you hear from me, right, everything is fine. They're sending a lot of the trucks to Texarkana and Laredo to bus back home. Wendell, I did hear that some people were getting Qualcomm messages to take the truck here or take the truck there, and they would have a bus ticket. They would not give you any money, but they would bus you. And I feel bad for somebody taking the bus from Laredo to Indianapolis. That's got to be 2 days on the Greyhound. I guess it's better than nothing. If you have the money, go rent a car. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck on the bus, and that's a long drive. Was Canby the company that tried to make that guy drive tired? Yes, that is Run Hard, Get Paid, and that video has like 1 million views or something. You can go check it out on YouTube. He recorded them. My company, Euro United, has been shuttling and feeding stranded drivers and offering a job. I haven't found any to assist, but a co-driver did, Hunter B. Brown. I wish they would have fueled over the weekend. I really do when the card was on. Really. Comfortable Man had the same BS with Swift. I once received a dispatch from Swift that was 2 days old when you got it. Nice. They expect you to drive 400 miles in 2 hours. Hey, be on time here for redispatch. Crazy. They just micromanage and they don't have enough drivers and they take loads. Trucker Hershey called DART, but they have household goods miles. That's true. They run household goods. The local job I saw here was some kind of hourly thing. Alexandra almost went to drive for Kane, being glad you didn't. Yeah, the micromanaging is got to be so frustrating. Al John supports the police union by paying the tickets that your wife gets. My wife has been stopped a few times over the years and never got a ticket because I guess she can just get out of it. I don't know. Alexander's not leaving West Memphis. Have to do it thoroughly for our reset. We will send people. We will surround your truck with Celadon trucks so no one can get in there to get you. Holy moly. Big Bird. Okay, he did Oscar too. That's what I thought. I know he did a couple of other people besides that. I have a movie truck. All right, name that movie. How about that? There is the movie truck of the week. I actually have another movie truck here too, but so there's a movie truck for everybody that might be into good trucking movies. This is a great trucking movie. I'm sure somebody will know what movie that truck is from. How many companies do you know that get their drivers home for Christmas? Absolutely 100%, as long as they want to do this, is rare. Yeah, I think most of them do. That's personally what I think. I've always been home for Christmas if I wanted to be, and so I think so. What do I think about company routing? I hate it. Rumpelstiltskin, I don't like it that they route you. I don't. You're a professional. You shouldn't have to be routed. Okay, like here, I don't get routed. My ComData card, it's open everywhere. It doesn't matter where we fuel. And so that kind of thing makes for a much easier day. Because if there's a traffic problem, I can go this way or I go that way. Right. So just like the hamsters from the Kia commercials, right? You can go this or you can go for that. So company routing, I hate it. It's none of their business how I get somewhere. I will take the best route to get the truck there on time. Let me decide as I go along down the road. about traffic conditions and everything else. Believe me, it'll save them money in the long run because I'm not out there to take the longest route. What's the point of that? It only pays a certain number of miles. So why would I do that? Crete will get you home for Christmas? Most of them should, right? Dual. There's Mad Hatter with Dual, exactly. Was that the sand truck? It was a fuel truck. 1 gallon or 2 soak with fuel down around the wheels. Yikes. Let's not do any of that. Micromanagement, who are the worst offenders and the least offenders laid back? Well, I just know that K&B has a history of it, and it hasn't changed, really. I bet Dart would get more drivers if they would up their pay. If it's also goods miles, then they do need to get on the program with that. Smith Transport has a home for Christmas guarantee. What is the guarantee? What does a guarantee mean there? Barbecue Trucker saw the movie but can't think of the name. But George Wilson knows that it's Dual with Dennis Weaver, right? One of the best trucking movies, certainly. You got the option to go home but took the bonus for working. All right, look, if you want it and don't want to be home, that's fair too. Wasn't that Stephen King's Drive? So close. Dual, exactly. Dart gets you home for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and holidays, and even if you take the holiday off, I get paid. Right, that's holiday pay, which is what it should be. Wild Bill, that movie truck is on the tip of your tongue, right? And that is a Pete 281. I had to look that up. Alexandra has the same thing, home for Christmas for all who request it. And as long as they do it, that's great. If you want to be home, go home. You got cats at home to see, right? Looked like the truck from Mad Max. Oh, not quite. Didn't they wreck the truck at the end of the movie, or was it a fake? There is one, from what I looked up, there's one running truck left. They used several of them in the movie. Apparently there's one left somewhere. Trucking Journeys at Smith Transport. If you're going to be home for Christmas, they will guarantee you home. What does that mean? What does the guarantee mean, though? I mean, will they fly you home from the other side of the country? How big is the guarantee? It's a weird mark that not that all here in 6 months. Although you may have to leave the day after Christmas, depending on the volume of freight and how many drivers have taken the week off. What does the guarantee mean? Okay, you're guaranteed home for Christmas. What does that mean? If I get empty in Montana and you can't get a load, will you fly me home for Christmas and fly me back to the truck? Or do they really try to get you home? I mean, there's different levels of guarantee. Guarantee, it means certain things. To me, I think it means a guarantee. Sometimes you may want to make a pit stop at home. Exactly. Cargo, home for Christmas. Okay, good. They should. If people want to be home, your company should get you home. Anyone guarantee New Year's Eve? I don't know if people guarantee New Year's Eve home. Wild Bill had an 80-mile-an-hour truck and expected you to use it. Chicago to Green Bay. Gave you 2 hours. Yeah, get going. What are you waiting for, right? It's going to start snowing by the time you get up there. The Princess of Dixie Hill. Dual. Can't drive on a public road. Love the show. Wasn't that great? It's one of the greatest trucking movies made, right? Rumpelstiltskin later. Hey, what's going on? And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next show, which will be next Monday at 1 p.m. for new people. Where's the rubber duck truck? I don't know. Oh, good. It means they will route you home or fly you home if they have to. All right. As long as they do it, then that's a guarantee that you can put your teeth into. I guarantee it. I meant their micromanagement has not been bothered. They checked up on me when I was sick, and that was once, and that's all. That's fine. If you're sick, that's good. But the K&B micromanagement thing has a history on the internet of micromanaging a lot of people. The barbecue trucker went off a cliff and rolled many times, but the trailer never separated. Shows you how strong the kingpin is. Yeah, back then it was, who knows what it was made out of then. 2 hours is possible if you don't wuss out. No cell phones in that movie or GPS. That was Dennis Weaver's problem, too. Plus, you can't run that Plymouth up the hill that fast, right? Well, here's the thing. Smith doesn't hire in the whole country, and they don't come much farther than Illinois. It is east, right? Mississippi east. Crete gets you home for Christmas. Here in the oil patch, 20 on and 10 off. It doesn't matter what day it falls on. Oil still got to go, right? Alexandra agreed. Waiting in traffic is a waste of time. You hate being managed with routing timetables. It's crazy, right? What good does it do you? I've seen people when there's signs and they're going straight, and I'm thinking, oh, these people have to use this route or they get in trouble. If they want to drive the truck, let them come and drive it. That's why they hire me. That's what I tell them. I'll figure out how to get where I'm going. Okay, you don't need to do any of that for me. And so companies should do that, and I think they'd run more efficiently. They guarantee in the company handbook, that is a company policy, meaning to guarantee no matter what they have to do. As long as they do it, I'm in then. If you want to be home, get a load going out west or something and then make them fly home. My boss is going to give Celadon driver I got $500 since it's close to Christmas. That's really nice of him. That's way better than most places. Green Bay reminds you of Schneider. They're up there. Have you seen the trucker in Dual? I don't know who did the truck driving. I'm in Dallas. If any driver is going to Tennessee, there's a ride for a driver that needs it. This is the show number 96 Mondays in a row. Well, it was a total of live shows, actually, was what my total was. It wasn't 96 Mondays, because when I started to do the live show, it was kind of a more random thing, and it wasn't that many, it wasn't 96 Mondays. It's show 96, let's put it that way. Josh, will there be a Christmas Eve show? No, because I won't be home Christmas Eve. We are going to one of the wife's daughter's house, so no, probably not. Maybe during the day. We'll see how that, if people want that, maybe I guess I could do that during the day. It's daytime now. We wouldn't leave until later anyway. No guarantees in business, work, AD transport over 20 years. Crete CEO said they got everyone home but 2 drivers last year out of 5,500 trucks that wanted to be home. Good. I mean, that's all drivers can ask, right? Will I do a show on Christmas? Yeah, I do think I will do a show on Christmas. I did a Christmas show last year, which was a bonanza show. Christmas is the only guaranteed holiday home for Creed and Schaefer. What happened with Celadon? Celadon is closed. They are no more. There's a YouTube documentary about that truck from Dual. Oh, that would be cool to see that. I'll have to check that out. Chapter 11, because of mismanagement. Yeah, Alexandra, yeah. This was all of their own doing. This isn't, people blame Trump, Obama. It's nobody. One guy blaming Richard Nixon in that. It's not Nixon. Nixon had nothing to do with this. It's all Celadon's doing. Western made you do the route, and once I got stuck in the mud due to it, got myself out and found a better route. They shouldn't do that. You could kill the Plymouth Valiant and have one ran forever, but apparently it can't get up a hill. That was the problem with that show. I called him and tell him I'm not taking that route. I'm taking my own. You shouldn't even have to do that. There shouldn't be a route given to you. Other than if there's a way to send in where you get a suggested route, but you shouldn't have to follow any route. I want to show during the day on Christmas Eve, Christina. All right, I was thinking about we're leaving, but no, we're not leaving till later. So yeah. You spoke of the Celadon doom a whole year ago. You said it, Mike. Yeah, I've been saying it for a while. Get out while the getting's good. There are people drilling holes in the bottom, and other people are just standing on the deck. Oh, everything is fine. The ship's lower and lower, and here we are. Been busy just getting on. Good afternoon, Roller Wiener Guy. Thank you, Red Wine, for being here. I blame Canada. We could blame Canada for this. It's possible. It is dual. I work for Schuster and have a Christmas bonus and guaranteed home for the holidays if we want it. So all these companies are doing this, which is really what a good company would do. You don't want people out on the holiday if they want to be home. Geez, aren't people gone long enough? Moises, with all the recruiting vultures coming for Celadon drivers, you can only imagine what company sales teams are doing to their freight. I know. I mean, that must be even worse. But the freight does have to move. Drivers need to make a better choice than, because somebody will give you a bus ticket, go work there. That's not a great plan on how to finish your career out. Sometimes you're stuck doing the route because of a mandatory fuel stop, Trucker Hershey. Exactly. That's why we don't work for, you try to work for a company that doesn't have mandatory fuel stops. My Comdata card is open, so I can fill up anywhere I want. I don't have a fuel stop that I have to follow the route on. A company that does that gives the driver more control of their day. I can make a better choice for them. Oh, yeah, maybe they pay another nickel somewhere else because I fill up somewhere else. So what? I saved them an hour from all that traffic backup we didn't have to sit in. Well worth it, I think. The way it works with Smith is when you get a load, they'll send you the route that they're going to pay you to take you, but you can take whatever route, and then they're not going to bother you. Right, here's a recommended route. This is how we pay. But if there's a backup, you can go around, and they don't give you any problems about it. Agree. Roger Penske, it's Zachary Taylor's fault. Yikes. Christmas Day is the only day CSX is closed all year, but work has to get done because the railroad doesn't stop. Triple time, well, of course. I mean, it goes without saying. From Myron Schaefer, if you see any AD Transport, contact the driver. He'll get you home, or to AD Transport in Canton, Michigan. Okay. Carrie Lofton drove the dual truck. Really? I don't know who that is. The vultures are circling. Yeah, no doubt. They're everywhere. And here is a truck as well that people may know. Another movie truck. All right, so we'll see if anybody knows this. Movie truck? Maybe. Well, now, we'll say a truck that you may have seen on a screen. Oh, rhymed. But that's where that is from. See if I can see if anybody remembers that truck, that famous truck. Sam, I remember starting with CR, and I would request home time and end up going home 5 days after. That is a common email I get, probably 5 of those a week, and I'm so sad about it because they should get people home. They don't understand that once you don't get home, people quit. That's one of the big reasons. Oh, I can't ever get home on my time. I'm quitting. So if they would just do better at that, it would be a much better deal. If that woman whose name I can't think of maybe would get on that program, maybe something would change. If you want to do this strange and always on the road thing, then do it in Las Vegas. Off strip Monday through Thursday. Room rates are very reasonable, okay? That's true, right during the week. And the buffet's cheap too. That'd be cool if you did a live show on Christmas Eve. That would be a Christmas present. Oh, that could be your Christmas present. That could be your lump of coal. Yikes. This would not be a Christmas present, but yeah, I can come on Eve and day. That'd be pretty fun, I think. Maybe not this long each day, but absolutely. Wendell, more news. A quarter of Celadon drivers' payroll has been paid. That's probably all that would be paid. Okay, so that must be why some people, even on here, said they were getting paid today. Money hit their account on Monday. All right, so if you look, I said this earlier. I don't think you're going to get paid Friday. And any money you get is probably better than nothing. If it's going on a card, please. If they let you take it off of the card immediately. Whatever money's on your card, if it's open, get it off of there. And don't look for any pay on Friday. And that's the problem. Go file with the state. Certainly, everybody file with your state for unpaid wages and unemployment. Will you get it? Maybe sometime in the future you'll get something worth filing because you're entitled to your money that you've earned. It isn't like, oh, I'm trying to scam them. If you worked, you're entitled to get paid. I get the recommended route with fuel spots, but I can fuel at most places. Michael called this. So as long as it's a wide open card, that is worth it as well. I've seen people that say they get a list also where you can fuel at any of these places anytime you want, which is also nice. And as long as it's a big list. The learning tree. All right. Thank you for the information. Keep on trucking. Yeah, be safe out there, right? Blame it on the Russians. Oh, it's a collusion. Beto, I blame the Russians for Celadon. It is kind of a Russian name. Wyland says that's BJ and the Bear. All right. We got it. I drove through the Princess of Dixie Hill, drove through Saskatchewan, and it got dark on you, and a lone truck. I felt like I was D. Weaver on a Honda Civic with a hound dog as a co-pilot. At least you had a dog. And probably your Civic, which probably had 5 times the power of that Valiant, could at least outrun the truck. Holy mackerel, that would be scary in Saskatchewan. I've talked to A&D transport recruiters before, and I will say that I really like the company and they had what they had to offer. And the downside is they have a driver-facing camera. I don't like that, right? I'm just not a fan of it. BJ McKay, and it's in Newman, Georgia. Is this truck actually somewhere? This is just a picture of it. Is that Scott Baio, Princess of Dixie Hill? No, but he does want to be in charge, though. Smokey and the Bear, or did he have money? Oh, yikes. Greg Evigan. The driver was Greg Evigan. And by the way, he sang the theme song to that show. How about that? Josh says Optimus Prime does not approve. Fundamentally Mormon Convoy. Yikes. Wrong movie. Alexandra, mandatory fuel stops are stupid. Waste of time. I'd rather fuel where I want. Start your day fueling after good inspection. You'll not have to worry about it. I agree. Right. Companies don't realize that, the few cents they're saving is offset by either that or I've seen you pull into a pilot or whatever, or you see it over there and there's 12 trucks in line in each lane. Well, that's some mandatory stop for all these people. They have to just sit there. You might sit there burning your time. Who wants that? Right? And the driver doesn't like it. The company's wasting fuel idling there. It doesn't make any sense. Let drivers fill up wherever they want. Myron, to trucking journeys, cameras save money. Lots of it must have. What do I think of Werner? Probably not a huge fan of any of these large, huge mega companies. Celadon is trying to influence the election by closing. Right. Okay. The way it works at Smith is they'll give you a few based on the route they send you, but our COM data cards are open and we can fuel anywhere that accepts COM data. It's not encouraged. They don't encourage it here either, but I don't care. So they don't want you to, but they don't say anything to you. So what they do, probably Earplace, it's the same way. as here, in that most drivers are company people. They want, oh, if I fuel here, then they'll be happy with me or whatever. See, I don't care. So for me, I just don't care. And the card's open, and so I just fill up wherever I want to. But most people are like, oh, you should fill over wherever they say. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting in line. I'm not doing it. Well, what will they think about it? I go, I don't care what they think about it. How about that? So when we're even. So it's probably the same at your place. What meaningful assurance do Celadon drivers have of having a way home by Celadon if they do what's right? Zero. At this point, nothing. Apparently, some people are getting messages that they can take the truck to, like, go to this place and drop the truck off and you'll have a bus ticket. That's what they're being told. Is there bus tickets? Probably. I don't know. But doing what's right is getting yourself home at this point. Michael, semi-truck driver, hello, good afternoon. It's good to see you here today. And honestly, that's no one has a guarantee of that by doing what's right. No company really cares that much, as we see from companies closing. And if it comes down to it, they'll just let you hang out there. Always have $300 at least available so you can get yourself home from wherever you are. If you can't get fuel at one of the fuel stops that they have assigned, you can call in and they'll move it to wherever you want and get fuel, but the cards are open. They encourage it, right? They want you to fuel there, right? They encourage drivers to stop at the recommended fuel station. I'm sure they probably get a discount, but I don't get a discount, right? They don't pay me for that, so no. BJ and the Bear, exactly, with Mr. Greg Evigan, who I met at a Star Trek convention of all things because he was in an episode of Star Trek. So I thought that was pretty cool. But some of these new drivers might run out of fuel because of poor planning. Starting out at a company as a student, I can see why they give you a certain place to fuel because they say, okay, here's fuel here, fuel here. I get that. But, companies continue that to people all the way up. Say you're 20 years and you go work there, they still give you fuel stops. You don't need to do that anymore. They don't realize, companies don't split that up to, have experienced drivers where they can loosen the stuff up on them. They just don't. Matt Maldi, GP Transco in the chat. They've been in and out of the chat. Here they are here today, right? They are here. They were not too long ago. Sonny and Will, I'm moving on, actually did go to truck school. Yeah, Greg Evigan, who I talked to, who was amazing. And he has a CDL still to this day. I met him, I don't know when it was, probably 10 years ago, maybe more, 15 years ago. And he still had a CDL. He maintained it from the show and still had it and sang the theme song. And I bought an album from him. So it was pretty good on CD. Myron, we knew Celadon was going 7 months ago. Yes. I mean, it's been on the wall. I encouraged people in the spring to please leave as soon as possible. And people stayed. And I feel bad for them. But this is the result of it. Did I see Odo from DS9 died? Michael Cole, I did. Renee died, and that is sad. 79 years old. He was also on Benson. Renee Auberjonois. I can't really pronounce his last name. He was Odo from Deep Space Nine. He did die over the weekend as well. Star Trek, of course, put that message out, and that is sad. He'll be posted in Star Trek Online. He'll go on the board up there at Space Dock for any Star Trek Online fans, which I have never found anyone here from the show to play with me, but which sounds weird when I say it like that. But either way, if you're on Star Trek Online, go to Space Dock, go upstairs. There's a plaque there, and they're going to put him on it. If a company is self-insured, how does that play out in an event like this one taking place, Michael, semi-truck driver? That's an interesting question, because the self-insurance, to self-insure yourself as a large company, they have to post a bond with the state. And the bond would still be good because the bond's already posted. So right now it should be still good. They would have to revoke the bond, and I haven't heard that happened. Either way, like what I said on the weekend, is that for me, if the truck was still running and they didn't say park the truck or whatever, there's just no communication, I would drive it back to the terminal where my car is. I understand some people wouldn't do that. I would do it to get back to my car if I had the fuel. I would. But is the insurance in place? Probably, because to self-insure, you have to post a bond. The bond should still be posted, so the self-insurance bond should still be in place. And I'm not hauling any freight. Companies wouldn't load Celadon. So what do you think of Heartland Express micromanaged everything, had to go by the terminal for inspection every time? It took several hours. You do not get paid. I don't like it. If Heartland Express makes you go for a several hour inspection and not pay you, I would go in and ask them and go, why am I not being paid for all this time? Plus, by the way, that's logged time. You should hose them by logging that time on duty, although I guess you wouldn't get paid for that either. It would really hose you. It's crazy to make drivers sit around without paying them anything. Cash is King. Who was the best, Captain Kirk or Picard? Obviously Kirk. We all know the original series is the best one. I'm a fan of all of them, but it's obviously Captain Kirk. I mean, come on. Nobody can go beyond that. GP Transco, put your app in. Set the orientation. Dak, can you get them on the board? All right, we'll talk. They can talk to GP Transco. Celadon Trucks at Charlie's Truck Stop in Virginia Beach. Mike, are they empty? I did not see that he died. He did. It was sad. We had several deaths over the weekend, not just Celadon. What other big companies close to shutting down? Look, I will tell you this. USA Truck stock is down 2/3 this year. Does that mean they're going to close? I don't know. Their stock was $20.46 on February 5th. It's $7.59 today. U.S. Express was $16.62 on June 15th, 2018. Today, it's $5.08. All right, and you say, well, sure, they're big companies. Their stock goes down. No, Swift was $25.84 on June 2nd, and today it's $35.64. They're up. Martin was $16.37 on January 2nd. It's $20.86. They're up, 25%. So companies whose stock is down 2/3 make me nervous, super nervous. Michael Cole used to play. Get back on there. Check me out. I'm Villic. I'm on there all the time. I do get on there every single day. Federation aligned. For those that play the game, I'm going to continue to Williston. I'll just be listening. Have a great week. Thanks for being here, Nathan, and be safe out there in the bad weather. He also voiced Mr. House in Fallout New Vegas. Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know he did any voices. If I was out on the road and my company went kaput, that's the illegal term, I would always have enough cash in the stash to get me home. That rhymes, by the way. Just fuel up and head home. They want the truck, they can come get it in the yard. Yeah, right. Look, Princess of Dixie, I would take it to a yard. The one that has my car in it. That's what I'm saying. I would fill up, and if I could, right, and get it to the yard that has my car so that I can get myself home. Because obviously they don't care about you. They didn't honor the Warren Act. They didn't do any of that. So that's how I would do it. I would get it back to where it belongs. If I can't get fuel, the card is off. I'd send messages on the Qualcomm or whatever, PeopleNet, whatever they use there, and say, I can't get fuel. What do you want me to do? There's no communication. I'd send a few messages, probably over an hour, and text to people if I could, and I'd take pictures of those. And then if there's no answer and it's in the news that they're closed, they're bankrupt, I guess that's it. I mean, I've done all I can do. I park it, lock it, take pictures of it, and head out. What more can you do? You can't just babysit the truck for a week before they tell you what to do with it. Is CDL Genie a good app to study for the commercial learner's permit? Barbecue trucker. Oh, that's interesting. I never heard of it. The Princess of Dixie Hill, back to your car. That's what I'm saying. I would go back to the terminal where my car is. Went to the same university as the new Captain Kirk, Chris Pine. Which university did the new Captain Kirk go to? How do you feel about driving dump for a local excavator to get your feet wet like I did? It's only a B license, though, probably, right? So you could, but I don't know that it would help that much as a B license. Maybe. Go get your A license, though, and then get some experience. Yes. Would way stations harass Celadon drivers during the mount back to their car? Should they avoid them? I wouldn't avoid them. No, you just keep on driving. Especially some of them do have a message to bring the truck back. So, and they're presumably empty or bobtail. I don't think you're going to get hassled by the way station people. Greg Evigan was ready for when the show ended. That's why he keeps the CDL. Oh, yeah? You're right. He had a B. He had a plan B. Celadon got caught cooking the books, $50 million. Hang in there for all the drivers. AD Transport is hiring in Canton, Michigan. Yeah, this Celadon, this is not an economy. This is nothing. This is Celadon. All Celadon. This would have happened no matter if the economy is great, bad. It didn't matter. This was happening. CDL Genie is a good app. I used it when you were in school. All right. I never heard of it. They didn't have those apps. We actually had to look at books. So those are things that were in the library, which are places where a lot of books are kept. Do you get any kickbacks for signing people up under that Star Trek nerd game? No, because the Star Trek nerd game is free. So, Al Johns, Star Trek Online is a free-to-play, massively multiplayer online game. as it's called, online player game, and it doesn't cost anything to play. So there's no kickback for signing people on. I'm just saying, come and say hello to me. We could be friends on the game, and that's it. But because there's no cost to it, there's no kickback to it or anything. What have you heard about the lawsuit involving the woman who was molested by a driver, and I haven't heard him mention it lately? The case been this kind of stuff takes a long time. Now, there been this Sierra England driver, right? It's been a while for her case. Nothing's going to happen until early next year at the best, but nothing more has come of it at all. And I do check into that stuff every week, and there's been nothing on it, but the case would be early next year, March, April, and I think there'll be a settlement. We'll see what they do about it. Pay to win, Michael Cole. No, you do not have to pay to win on that game. Absolutely, absolutely not. So, because I've been playing it for probably 6 years, and if you'll just work through all the stuff on there, you don't have to pay. Now, I do pay them every year on stuff. I buy stuff in the game because they have provided a game that is now like 10 or 11 years old, and they do a lot of work to it, and I think that's worth some money. You shouldn't just kind of like sponge off the whole game and not pay anything. So I do spend money in the game to buy stuff, but you do not have to do that. And all the equipment on the ship and all that is all gear that is in the game. So, Trucker Hershey, where do you play that game? Just go download the game. I play it on PC. You can also play it on PS4 and Xbox, but they don't talk to each other, so you only play people on each one. I play it on PC. Go to Steam and download Star Trek Online and start playing today. It's for Star Trek fans. Look, I will say this doesn't have anything to do with trucking, but you got to be a real Star Trek fan because the stuff that you're playing in the game are basically you're redoing episodes. So if you're a huge fan of the game like me, who've been watching the show for many years, let's say, you're really replaying episodes from the show, from all the different shows, and the whole universe is set up like the show, and you interact with characters. They have tons of voices and characters from the show. It's a lot of fun if you're a real Star Trek fan. If you don't know that much about Star Trek, you may not like the game as much. Mr. Sammy, no worries about a new recession or depression? No, especially Celadon is way off on the side of this. This is their own doing. It wouldn't have mattered what happened. This place was going down. You respect Mark's opinion on Wiling, which I appreciate very much. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, you don't have to pay for the pretty ships. They give ships away, Michael, and twice a year now, they're giving you a coupon to buy any ship you want in the store. We're 2/3 of the way through the one right now, which I'm 2/3 of the way on, and one more play period or whatever, and you can go buy any ship you want at the store. They're $30, but you get a $30 off coupon, any ship you want. So you don't have to pay for the pretty ships anymore. You get the ships for free. You can even earn a free ship like that. So he sell the fuel out of the tank and buy a plane ticket. Do not sell fuel. It's on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, but they don't talk to each other if you're playing this game. So if you're playing Xbox, you're only playing people on Xbox. PlayStation, same way. They don't talk to each other. I play it on PC. I think it's better that way, personally. CDL Genie's is state-specific and a great way to study. All right, I'll take it. I can't change the laws of physics. Yeah, exactly. His son is in the game, too, just so you know. It's not possible to please every driver at a company, no matter how good they are. That is true. GP Transform. Every company has detractors and everything, certainly. And every company is not for everybody. Let's put it like that, too. Company might be a great company. It might not be for you. And where you work might not be for me. So even though a company might be good overall, it might not fit you. That's why I really encourage people to ask themselves a lot of questions first. Introspection. How about that? And then find a company that fits in that so that you can get a good fit and you don't have to worry about, have to change companies all the time. CDL Genie helped you get your endorsements. That's good. Every company has disgruntled employees, that's for sure. The PC's the master race. Yeah, isn't it so? I mean, please. Mark is on a roll. Look at the clock. I know I do have to head out of here. I did just see the clock down there. I have seen them get disgruntled in orientation. People don't ask enough questions up front, and then they're told things at orientation that they thought was true, and it turns out not to be because they didn't really ask all the questions. At truckinganswersnation.com, I have a list of questions to ask a company. You can print that out or whatever. There's no charge for it. Go over there and get it and look over those questions and see which ones apply to you and ask every question that you want to every company and then you can compare them all to each other, especially for Celadon drivers that need to get a job. Compare them all that way, really. Christina, another good show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It is time to about head out of here. I would sell the fuel because the company would have any way knowing how much fuel. Yeah, but you're still stealing the fuel. I mean, because somebody doesn't know, here's the thing, what we do in private is who we are. So even though they wouldn't know, you would know. And you can't internalize the stealing to saying, well, nobody's going to know. That isn't any good, right? We can't be like them. You can't sell the fuel. It isn't right to do. A good part of the disgruntled trucksters cause their own demise. That's true for all the time. Right, exactly. Don't be late for work. Yes, exactly. I do have to put this up here for the St. Christopher Fund. I'm trying to raise $500 for them. I got a link. Look at this. I'm like all about technology. There's a link. If you do donate to them, just shoot me an email if you want to. Tell me how much it was. I'm just trying to keep track of it. I'm not saying anything. If not, that's okay too. I just want to get them. Truckers Fund helps drivers with medical conditions on the road, pay their bills, get them home, stuff like that. I always say this. I am an OIDA member. I think everybody should be an OIDA member. It's the best chance we have right now, right? What else can we do? This time of year is the worst time of year for some people. If that's you, right, please call this number. If you're a Celadon driver, okay, seriously, and this is serious, call this number, right? Do not take any other actions. If you need to call this number, call it. It's 24/7. They'll talk to you anonymously, whatever you need. They can get you help, whatever you need, okay? There is light on the other side of that, of the tunnel. There is. And I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank, let's see, where did I go? Oh, let's go to my first one right here. Oh, right, Trucker Hershey. Thank you for being in first today. I appreciate it. And Michael Cole, office employees are not stuck, at least, right. Another benefit of people that are more local, really. Big Nate Jobber that has morals. He wouldn't sell the fuel if found out his company went bankrupt. No, I wouldn't. Well, I'd be back home. But no, I wouldn't, because I don't think it's right to do. It just isn't. You know that you're selling the fuel, and it's not right to do. I don't want to be treated that way, so I can't treat other people like that. That's not how it works for a good country, really, right? Trucking Journeys, thanks for being here. I will check my email. Al Johns, I appreciate it. Comfortable man, drive it home myself. Think you can get home when they want to. Right, exact. That's another way to do it, right? I think bringing it to them is a better idea, but at least it's back and you got yourself home, because obviously they don't care, really. Wild Bill, thanks for coming in today. The Barbecue Trucker, always cooking it up for us. Josh Punton, thank you for being here. As I go up here, George Wilson, thank you for coming in. And Christina, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Alexandra, thanks for that. Good luck down there. Remember, zigs and zags. I'll be thinking of you for the next 34 hours. Wyland, thanks for being here. GP Transco, thank you for coming in and answering questions. I always appreciate it. You're welcome here anytime. And it's good to see you here today. I know you're always busy over there, and you're going to be more bombarded. Bob Dobb, thanks for being here. And President George H.W. Bush, it is always a pleasure to have the president here. Cash is King Trucking, thank you for coming in. Mr. Sammy, I appreciate it. And James Faust was here earlier today. Thank you for being here. Mad Hatter, Mylan, I have to head out to work before they start griping at me. Ricky, have a good day. I appreciate that. Thank you, GP Transco, for saying that. K. Wayne, thanks for being here. K. Dub Milkman, also. Jeff F. Drive safe, everyone. If you see a Celadon driver that needs your help, give them some help. If you can give them some help, if they can get it from you, we'd appreciate it. So this is a truck driver channel, the Barbecue Trucker. I appreciate it. And I am headed out. Be safe, everyone. We'll be back next Monday at 1. Thanks for being here. Help a Celadon driver. Believe me, right now at Christmas time, they need it.